2, 3, 4.
Here, Hibbing is very likely going to take this game here unless TKD off the sidewall. Pixels there and they score at 0 seconds. The first 0 second goal we see in MNCS Season 7 goes to Pixels.
And receive it. So we'll see if everything that Jules has said tonight, if he stands by it or if it comes to bite him in the you-know-what. Jules! Followed up on net. He goes for a light touch. Now, he's got some time. Goes up on the ceiling. He's got a foot. He's got another one. Oh, in a commanding start from the rhythm.
Very memorable goal from that angle before. Prussia will win the challenge. Gets the ball punches. It's just helmets. It's won by St. Cloud. The overlay loves to just kill on me all day long. So I'm just gonna let him start a reset.
Lawson, I think gave him a great opportunity to look at the drawing board and see what they could do to come up with.
Three final dick attempt from the Inferno. Ball sent away. Messiah has to now keep it up in the air. He's got one touch in, sent towards the net. A 0 second goal. Enter golden goal opportunity. Ball sent in by Polkastar, and the demo comes in from Marty on the end. He has an opportunity. Sent in towards the net, and that's in. 7 seconds into overtime, and the Superior.
Goddamn, would you look at me? Yo, I'm a lazy motherfucker, that's what everyone sees. Ain't it funny how you wanna be the best, but you can't even get up and get dressed? Wasted, face it, you're never gonna make it. Rockstar, you won't get far. I know you're confused. People tell you you can be anything you wanna be. Wanna go to outer space, superhero in the streets. Damn, what a lie. What a time to be alive. How have I survived? Left the battlefield, 1974.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Major One is here, and Mr. Wolf has returned from his hiatus. He's no longer sick. Quick to my right on your screens. He's to my left in my view. Mr. Wolf also as well with me. Of course, the 3-layer burrito. You're getting all three of us.
3-layer.
I wish that we were all wearing blue or not. Mr. Wolf had to wear purple. Loser.
Northern Iowa. Blue's
So
not
what?
Northern
It's
Iowa.
purple. It's purple. Anyway.
Is this an idiot sandwich? Is this what an idiot sandwich looks like?
Oh my god.
Oh,
no, it's
Not
a 3-layer
quite. Not
burrito.
quite. But we have made it, friends, all the way to the Major One, split one for at least Rising Star. April 20th is the date, and of course, Challenger tomorrow, Premier after that, Prospect on Sunday, and that is for week 1 at least. And then we have week 2, and of course, points allocation for this major. First place 20 total points, second 16, 13 third, 10th 4th, 7th and 4 and 2. So for these teams fighting in this winners round 1, this is a really, really big matchup. And you guys kind of caught it pre-stream, but the schedule on the screen, Mahler's Superiors is the first match, and that is the 8 seed versus the 9 seed from our final standings. So final standings for Rising Star is here, and of course there you see Bloomington and Duluth sitting at 8 and 9. And of course the bracket has been filled out regardless. Also as well, the highlighted yellow matches are the ones that will actually be streaming. And Mr. Wolf, anything standing out for the bracket for you right away?
Well, I'm looking at some of these roster changes, man. I'm pretty sure it was some crazy time last night, just before the trade deadline closed, that Heretic made a change on that Mahler's team to demote Jax to prospect, and then I believe they brought Jake in place of him. And so they've got Aaron CR, Jake, and of course Q, who is there since the draft. And then on the side of the Superiors, we've got Zero Vibes playing, a new addition to this team. I think they had Maleficent go down to prospect in the end. And then you've got your... Huh?
I ended up actually picking up Maleficent.
Did you? Oh yeah, you did. You did.
Bluth dropped him right at the start of the trade window and picked up Zero.
Burnsville's prospect team, and now he's tearing it up in prospect.
Now they're tearing it up.
So yeah, it's a little scary because he dropped all the way to prospect, and now he's no longer on the Superiors team. So the Superiors have a lot of work to do. Of course, starting lineups on your screen: Stego, Stero Vibes, and Takani, like we said. Jake, Mr. Q, and Reflection is actually Aaron CR, to preface in-game, if his in-game name looks a little bit different. But of course, you guys have seen the bracket, you've seen the standings, you've seen the schedule. It's our first match, and then of course we're gonna go to upper round 2. The way this bracket works is all the front half matches in round 1 are played at the exact same time, so we got to kind of pick and choose which matches we were gonna stream, and then of course, round 2, where you see the extra, the second yellow set with the rhythm, is all played at 6:45, and then of course we move into the winners bracket semifinal, and that would be the bottom side. So we're gonna see a possible Bemidji Lumberjacks or St. Cloud Flyers in that match, and that is, that leads you all the way into lower round 2, which would be our last match of the evening, but guys, these guys have been sitting here for far too long for my liking, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys think? Any predictions? I'm gonna go to Mr. Wolf first, and then quick, throw your prediction up.
All right, I've got oh boy, I'm going with Bloomington. I think Aaron CR is just one of the best players in Rising Star. He subbed up and just crushed us in Challenger, so I'm going to give it to the Bloomington Maulers here in 4 games.
It is a best of 5, correct. So quick, does that change your view at all from his pick?
No, yesterday during the stream we talked about this, and I'm going to stick with what I went with yesterday. I think Superiors are going to take this one. I think it will go to a game 5, but Zero Vibes has history on the Superiors franchise. I think that might bolster his confidence a little bit, and we've talked about that new squad buff. I definitely think that if that comes into play at all here, the Superiors will be able to take this one pretty handily.
I am going to go with Bloomington as well, but I feel like it's going to be a 5-game set. I just sent the players into the lobby. Guys, I'm about as ready as I ever could possibly be for this match. Major 1, round number 1. The number 8 versus the 9 seed playing against each other. Maulers, Superiors. It should be a blast. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, this should be, you know, I mean, we're seeing some pressure finally put on these players. You know, usually we only see it in, you know, the playoffs, not even the group stage, but playoffs, and then at LAN you really see these teams with some extra passion on their game, and they've got something here to prove today. Of course, you don't want to drop into that lower bracket immediately. It is going to be a tough route to get far, of course, if you do drop immediately. And right off the bat, 30 seconds in, we got some back and forth play. Stego's in. What car is that?
Ooh, great
It's
touch
just in.
there.
It doesn't matter.
Man. He got all over that one.
Yeah, I did. A huge challenge. Aaron's touch not great. Takani finds the bounce angle and will score to open the series with a 1-0 lead for Duluth. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if that really changes my pick much. I still have faith in these Maulers boys. I feel like them being the higher seed, they should win this. I mean, realistically, yes, but with how some of the brackets are for some of the other for Premier and Challenger, we could see possibly some upsets.
Oh, great touch.
Ooh, beautiful.
Man, stuffed him. Yeah, I think that something to keep in mind here is that this is not so much a sprint as it is a game of attrition. You know, these teams are going to be playing multiple games throughout today. And I think Wolf kind of touched on it a bit there. This does emulate that LAN tournament environment kind of, and that extra stress is definitely a factor to take into account here. We're going to see the Maulers try to put it on net. Q almost gets it past the defenders, but yeah, I think it's too early in this game to be able to call this one. Q gets it past 2, actually. Wow, that is going to be his second for the game. Pops it past both the defenders. Wolf, you were kind of talking about that this is a player with some high mechanics, high skill.
Oh boy. Well, not so sure about
Oh no, you're
pregame
talking about
and how he was
AR
gonna
or
do.
Aaron, right?
Yeah,
I
Aaron CR.
apologize.
But
There we go, okay.
I mean, back-to-back goals to respond to the first one from the Superiors. And, you know, for me, you know, it was a great execution, you know, of his mechanical ability. And Jink's going to come in and find a 2-goal lead for the Maulers. But I think for Q, the Superiors are giving them too much space. And that's a bit of a blunder on the Superiors' goal line.
You can't be making those mistakes, because if you make those mistakes, then it's just going to continue to bite you in your proverbial pants. You know, you're going to get caught. And for Duluth, like we talked about, like Mr. Wolf said, you can't give them too much space because they're going to punish you with space. You know, if you're giving a mechanical team a lot of options as far as the field goes, you know, you can't expect to be, you know, finished off with good results. So if you are Bloomington, you keep abusing the space. If you are Duluth, something's got to change right now, quick. Something's got to make an alterance. I don't know what it could possibly be. Alterance, I don't know if that's a word, but...
I mean, looking at the score lines here, it's looking pretty evenly matched.
Ooh.
Superiors, oh, there, we see it. Zero Vibes capitalizing. I was just about to make a comment about how he was sitting down at the bottom of the Duluth squad as far as points go, but real quick to capitalize there. I think that they're just looking for the opportunities. We know that Takani and Stego are both pretty careful players. They like to set up plays, take chances to get control of the ball, not being away as much. So I think all it's going to take is for them to start to figure out what this Maulers squad is doing, and then they'll be able to get around that. Obviously, we're seeing that only a 1-goal difference now, 2.5 minutes through, 5-goal game already. I definitely expect to see a couple more goals before this is over.
Yeah, for sure. I think, I mean, we have five goals, and we're just hitting the halfway mark in game number 1. And I think Duluth, I mean, it's kind of a shaky start. I mean, they're, in terms of pressure, they actually have 6 shots. Both teams.
Oh, a
have
chance.
6 shots, and there's a chance for Zero Vibes, and Stega's going to hit it back. They do retain possession, though, so I do end up liking that touch from Duluth. Aaron's just going to put one on net, immediately saved by Stego, and it's over Zero Vibes' head. Jake is going to take this one back. but the Duluth Superiors, they're doing a pretty good job of holding down this this Mauler's aggressive squad. They're definitely getting their, very equivalent overall offensive pressure here as Aaron CR, top right, is going to score to give them a 2-goal lead.
It's just too fast. Can't give, just a miss by Takani. You can't give them a wide open shot like that. Stego trying to recover to make the save, but for Bloomington, they're capitalizing on every single chance that Duluth is giving them. And that's what you want to see early on in this tournament, guys. Like Quick said, it's a war of attrition. It's an absolute marathon. You're going to play at least 2 series today, possibly 3. And normally teams are used to 1 series a week. So in reality, you're game planning for more than likely 3 possible teams, depending on how your roster does. So if you are Bloomington, you got to start off well. That's an open net and not quite in yet. Zero Vibes on an island trying to score an open net possibly, but Duluth trying to climb back into this game. They got a minute to do it, down by 2.
That was a big opportunity for Duluth there. Really unfortunate that Zero Vibes wasn't able to get much power on that one to put that into the net. That was really what they needed. 1 minute to go in game number 1 here. 2-goal deficit. Bloomington Maulers looking to make it 3. Man, they are all over the post. That's 2 goals in the last minute here that they've just barely missed. I think that offensive pressure is kind of just forcing Duluth to have to throw the ball away. They're not able to thrive in that one-on-one environment. Takani taking the opportunity, but Q able to get back and save that ball. Q's going to bang this one downfield, but Stagel will get in the way. We're going to see the Maulers get control of this ball on the offensive end. It's off the backboard. Jake pops it towards the net, but Zero Vibe is going to clear it into his corner. Looking to follow it, pop it out towards mid, but Aaron is there. He looks for the shot off the wall. Q with the touch, bangs it off the backboard, and Tekani, the ball's going the other way, gets banged away. Under 20 seconds here. It's not looking very great for Duluth.
Yeah, Duluth, they've had a decent amount of opportunities, but for me, I think this game, the Maulers, they scored 3 straight at the beginning of the game after they conceded 1. But the Bloomington Maulers, of course, take game 1. But really, for me, their offensive pressure was just a bit more. 13 shots from the Maulers, and we see, 10 from the Superiors. But really, towards the end of that game, it was the Maulers. Even though they were hitting the post, they were missing all those open opportunities. They had that 2-goal lead, and they had that pressure, so that pretty much limited this to the Superiors just having pretty much nothing at the end of that game.
Yeah, even if you're hitting the post, guys, like we talked about, it doesn't matter. If you're still hitting the post, you still have the offensive pressure, you still have the offensive chances. So in reality, it's good because you're still even getting chances despite winning.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes causing that confusion in front of the net can be pretty big. So we'll see. I didn't really see anything that stood out from either team. That was a really close match. Just the Maulers able to find more opportunities to capitalize on. Q looking to right away get a pass down. Aaron's going to pop this ball up on the offensive zone. Looks to bang it off the backboard, but misses it. Takani with the ball in his own corner. It's going to get banged toward net by Jake. You see Takani pop the ball out towards middle field. Zero Vibes looking to put it on net. He does, but Aaron is there. Jake popping it up to Q, who looks to move the ball downfield. Jake is going to follow this one up. Gets cleared into the corner. Q looking to put this one on net, maybe. I think a big thing that I'm seeing here is the Maulers look a lot more comfortable up on the wall and just in the air. They're getting on top of Duluth, and just like that, they convert.
And that is Q's 3rd goal, I believe, after scoring 2 monstrous ones, of course, in that, those back-to-back ones at the start of the game. And for me, I was kind of questioning how this Maulers team would do. I had them winning this series, but with the new addition of a teammate, with a change right before the major, you'd assume, both teams have newer, more recent changes. So, that has to, in terms of preparation, you don't have that 4 or 5 weeks of preparation like some of the teams that have stuck together have. You've got pretty much 1 week, 1 to 2 weeks with your new player, and hoping that it meshes well. Because these teams are on a limb. Of course, these GMs are on a limb for their team to perform really well at this major, and they're willing to make transactions to do so.
Yeah, we saw the transaction last night. of Mexi actually moving Chifu to actually a retirement spot and bringing in Seared for the Brainerd victory. So that's another change that happened at 11:58. So, I mean, you're really cutting it close to the trade deadline, that's for sure. Obviously, it ending at midnight, but I mean, for most of these teams, yes, you have had the entire season. If you haven't made a change to,
great opportunity.
especially for Duluth, you've had 3/4 of your roster for the entire season. I mean, Zero Vibes was added, what, week 3 or 4, something like that. So
I believe it was at the start of the trade window, right? So yeah, we'd already played 4
around
matches.
week 4, yeah, exactly, or 3. So in reality, this is
God, man, he was all over that ball. I believe iStar and I were talking about this the other week, and they did acquire Zero Vibes at the start of the trade window, and it sounded like he was putting in games with the squad. I don't think that the issue that we're seeing here is one of chemistry, though. Aaron and Q are all over this ball. Their follow-up touches and their midfield plays just seem like it's too much for Duluth to be able to claw back. That offensive pressure that they have is absolutely insane.
Yeah, Q has 2 goals in 1.5 games, and he had the first 2 goals of game 1, and now he's got the first 2 goals and is looking to add more to this game 3. And Aaron is going to score.
Pressure.
And the Bloomington Maulers pressure, you know, Superiors have 1 shot, but not only is the Maulers pressure there, this time they're not hitting the post. They are absolutely on target with their chances, and they have a 3-goal lead here in game number 2.
Just can't give them an open backboard. It's again, you're just abusing the backboard. Duluth continues to have problems defending it, and if you are Bloomington, that is your key play then. Continue to use that offensive opportunity, because until Duluth makes the switch, Bloomington's got this series in the bag all day long. But of course, we can't ever count Duluth out. I mean, they've got offensive pressure right now, like Quick just said, with a shot from Stego, but not going to be quite on target. And Duluth fighting against the Laurels with 2 minutes to go. They still have time to possibly get back into this series, but it's got to come now. You got to find some sort of offensive pressure or chance.
I definitely think that they found it this past minute. The ball staying down on the Mauler side. Another opportunity there. Duluth keeping the ball in play. Zero Vibes looking to put this one on net. He misses the ball off the wall. Aaron's going to clear it into his own corner. Looks to get the ball towards mid, but Stego is there. Ball is bouncing down towards center. Stego pops up for his teammate. Tech is there, and he puts it in. There we go. Great teamwork there. Last minute and a half, ball stuck in the zone of the Maulers, but they don't have that much time to keep doing that throughout the rest of this match.
Yeah, the Superiors, it seems like they're getting on the right path a bit too late. They're still down by 2. There is about 90 seconds left of play, and you know, if a kickoff or a quick goal were to happen, as Zero Vibes is pre-jumping for that one. For me, I think the Maulers right now, they're just overall a faster team, and they have more of a mechanical, they're mechanically gifted, I think, better than the Superiors team right now, as Aaron looks for the sidewall read. Which would have been a crazy redirect, as Q also wants to get it. Jake's gonna come in, and there's just multiple touches. You know, like you mentioned earlier, Quick, the Superiors have, once the Maulers get the ball in the Superiors half, it is so difficult for them to get a transition. They are absolutely stuck in their end.
It has not gone past half for the last 40 seconds here. This ball has been absolutely trapped in the Superiors end. I don't know where the Maulers are getting all this boost from. I'm gonna call hacks.
I don't know if they're quite hacking. The only hacking I've known for Rocket League is, you know, playing with a bot. But other than that, I don't think they're playing with a bot in a private match. At least I don't at least I hope not. Good God. But, you know, if you are Duluth, you have 30 seconds to try and find something early. But like we talked about for Bloomington, you may have to hold down your back line for 2, but that had to be on net. That had to be some sort of luck there, luck bounce for Duluth. But for Bloomington, at least, you have all the offensive pressure. You have all the shots, but you can't quite put it away. 10 seconds. Duluth has to find something right here, right now.
Yeah, this is not match point, but it is now going to head to match point as the Maulers take this game to 3-1. 2-goal differential there. Same thing as the first game. I think that it felt like Duluth made some more mistakes there. The first game felt a little more solid. But the Maulers also felt more solid at the start of this one. I'm not sure what is happening on the side of Duluth that they're not able to convert. Clearly, that game they were able to find some more success. Wolf, do you got any thoughts on what might be going on here?
Man, of course, Bloomington's pressure right now is too much to deal with for Duluth. When Duluth try to transition, all they've got is like a challenge. They've got no transition clear. They've got no outlet they can look to establish offensive pressure. I'm pretty sure throughout that whole game, we saw the Duluth Superiors, score once off of one drive, and that was it. Other than that, the Bloomington Maulers were in their half, just being annoying and scoring goals, putting constant pressure on them, locking them in their half. And when team with most pressure is going to win 99% of the games, and with all the pressure that you're getting, it's also limiting all of the Superior's chances. They have that one drive and that was it. So the Maulers are looking like heavy favorites to possibly sweep this series.
And if you come out with a sweep, Quick and Wolf, if you come out with a sweep right away in this series, I mean, this is solid. You're the 8th seed and you're taking out the 9 in 3 games. You're just stomping them. I mean, that does so much for your confidence. It creates just this aura around your team that you believe that you can take the entire major, but Takani doesn't want any of that.
Great read by Takani. Seeing it gets past Jake there, puts it on net to put them up 1-0. I do not expect that to be the final goal, but this is the first time that we've seen Duluth pull ahead in this series. Maybe this will be a good opportunity for them to sit on the ball a little bit more, capitalize on some defensive prowess, and try to get the Maulers on the back foot. Aaron almost shuts me up trying to put that one on, and Jake follows it up and puts it in. Tie game. Quick capitalization there.
Yeah, and one thing that, of course, Bloomington scores, surprise. But, for me, I think the Duluth Superiors, they haven't gotten onto offense, so their offense hasn't been clicking. Therefore, the one goal that they've got from Takani is a complete solo play. It was all him. Like, they've got no team cohesion right now, and that's going to limit them a lot. As Bloomington are back onto offense, and Zero Vibes just has to barely get back and get the save as Jake tries to make some magic happen out of the corner there, and Bloomington is still on their end, and now it's to the backboard. Nobody's there.
Oh,
Aaron's gonna follow
nice.
it up, but Jake's gonna steal his goal, and the Bloomington Maulers, they're looking like they're gonna sweep after 2 back-to-back goals once again.
I mean, I guess you can just steal goals. It doesn't matter, Your team's scoring the goal regardless. So congratulations to Bloomington as they're up 2-1 in this game and looking to put this series to bed and move on to that next round where they will face the #1 seed. And I would not want to be playing a Rochester Rhythm, especially in that second round, because Rochester has not played a series today and they'll just walk into it cold. But the good news is Bloomington, more than likely, if they win this series, will have played a series today. So you're going into a game where you're warm and Rochester's not, so maybe you can catch them maybe napping a little bit. But if you are Duluth, you need to answer, and you do.
Tech doing everything in his power to keep them in this game. Ties the game up with 1.5 minutes gone. Still plenty of game to go here. I really like what I'm seeing from the Superiors. Looks like they're getting better control of the ball, able to maybe make some more midfield plays, pass a bit more. That play coming out from a team play. But we're going to see this kickoff go in favor of the Maulers. Q looking to center this one. Zero is there to put the ball back in his own corner. 50 by Aaron. Ball pops out center, but Takani clears it down to the Maulers' end. He was going to look to bang this one back. Stego collecting the ball at midfield, puts it over to Takani. Takani pops up to Zero Vibes, who starts to take the ball into the Maulers' end. 2 minutes gone here, and this looks like a different squad for Duluth. A lot more confident, keeping the Maulers on the back foot a little bit through game number 3 here.
And right now they did have a decent bit of offensive pressure there as Aaron CR looking for the dunk on that left side of the wall. But for me, the very few chances that the Superiors have had with Takani on offense, they've scored. You know, the 2 times pretty much throughout this entire game, except for that last drive, it was the Superiors would get the ball on the Maulers' end for maybe
double
2
commit,
seconds, and they'd be willing to score. This is not looking good, though, as Sakani is able to get a block there, and they are tied here, Stewie, but right now, I just don't know if it's enough. They're getting a few more chances, but I just don't think it's enough right now.
No, like you said, we saw the double commit, quick called it out. A huge play from Takani to save a possible goal for Bloomington. If you think Takani is not there and that goes in, we may be looking at a 3-0 completely, but you know, it's just not enough right now. You need more of a chance. Stego trying to create something, but again, Bloomington has their infield just locked down completely. So as far as their chances go, Aaron challenging a midfield ball, absolutely massive. They're not letting anything go without a repercussion
Opportunity!
and a massive miss.
Man.
And that will let Takani take the lead for Duluth.
Takani is 100% the MVP for this game. He has stepped up so massively for Duluth and is single-handedly keeping them in this series. Fantastic goal for him. He's finding a lot of success out in front of the net. Definitely seeing some more aggression from Duluth on the offensive zone. However, we did see that double commit, so hopefully that was maybe just some of the shakes, and that won't occur again, because clearly this is what they need to be doing in order to win this game. Takani looking for the flip reset. He gets it, but not able to get any power on the ball. It's going to get cleared away by Aaron. Q putting this ball back to Aaron down the offensive end. Zero Vibes going to bang it out to Stego at mid. Zero Vibes collects it again. The ball is going to bounce down center. Nobody is there for Duluth to put the shot on. Takani taking this ball back at midfield. We see Q get control of it. Looks for 50. Actually just gets it past the defender. Ball in the end of the Superiors. And here's that offensive pressure that we were talking about, Wolf, coming out from the Maulers. Now that the ball is in the other end, Duluth is just struggling to get it out.
Well, Stego gets a really good touch. Should be
Yeah.
a chance
Oh,
for Zero
damn.
Vibes. Jake is going to get a save just in time, and I think so far this game, Bloomington has actually been tested on their goal line just a tad bit more than this entire.
Oh, the
series.
bump! Great
come out.
bump there,
Takani is
Zero.
going to score, and that could be the dagger here in game number 3 to keep Duluth alive.
16 seconds left, guys. If you are Bloomington, you recollect and you finish everything off in game 4. If you are Duluth, you have been given a chance, and the door starts to creak a little bit open more for you to climb back into this series and possibly force a 5th game. But if you're Bloomington, you got to finish it off in this next game. One for the road for Duluth. They're going to make it 5-2, and that is going to be a big boost to the mentality.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge momentum shift. Duluth definitely needed to start building some momentum on their side. Try to get the Maulers on the back foot, like I've mentioned. And this game, they were just able to find it. I'm not sure what they did differently. We did see that bump come out from Zero Vibes, but I haven't seen a lot of demos this series so far, it feels like. But game number 3, going in way of the Superiors, keeping them in this series. Now 1-2. Maulers definitely looking to close this one out. Q not finding as much success that series. Actually, his first game not scoring a goal. That might be what caused that win.
Yeah. Well, of course, we saw the Bloomington Maulers get 2 goals, but Takani had 4. He shot 100% on
Stepped
4
up.
goals.
Stepped up.
Yeah, from the Maulers just absolutely destroying the Duluth Superiors. Takani scores 4 goals, and then we see the bump play from Zero Vibes at the end that let Takani score another goal. But really, I think for me, this game was so important for Duluth because they finally got Bloomington to get a test of their offense, or Bloomington, excuse me. Because the Maulers really haven't been tested this entire series, and this game was a reality check for them. And I don't know if it could repeat itself. I don't know if we could go to game 5 here. But for me, that's the best case scenario for the Duluth Superiors. They finally get a solid game. The question for me is, can Takani score 4 goals again? I don't know.
Hopefully he doesn't have to. I mean, honestly.
Game number 4 has loaded on in. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is major number 1 for Rising Star. It's the first week of the split 1 major, and it's the 8 seed versus the 9 seed. Bloomington got the 8 seed after their finish in the standings, and this is a huge blunder, Jake. A huge save from Zero Vibes will give to the dunk, and it just is enough again for Bloomington to score.
Great read by Q there. Fantastic offensive pressure coming out from the Maulers. Just too much for the Superiors to handle right off the rip here. And the Maulers definitely look comfortable when they're ahead. A team that likes to be aggressive and on the offensive is a team that plays well when they're up ahead. You can get a little bit riskier once you have that padding. So they're definitely going to be looking for that second one. Takani trying to tie it up. Puts that one on net. Zero Vibes is going to look to gain control in the offensive zone. Taps it down to Takani, who puts it on, but Q pops the ball up out towards midfield, looking to get control. Tries to get it past Stego, but Stego 50s the ball back out towards mid. Ball's going to get cleared down into the Superiors zone. Jake looking to get the ball collected in the Superiors corner. Takani taking this one back out. We're going to see it pop out towards mid. Jake with a chance. Gets cleared away by Zero Vibes. A minute gone, and both teams firing on all cylinders here. Nobody looking to give an inch.
Ooh, what a double from Q. Almost pretty much gave it to the midfield for a potential shot for the Duluth Superiors. But now Aaron is going to send this one forward. And, you know, both sides with, I think, some overall bigger clears from the Duluth Superiors are putting them in some decent spots as they connect on the pass there. On the transition, miss comes out from Takani. Shot from Jake is going to be a 2-goal lead now for the Maulers, and I'm pretty sure the Maulers have scored 2 goals immediately and within almost every game before the halfway mark.
Yeah, they're striking early and they're striking fast, guys. You know, we look at the series as a whole, and it's been Bloomington scoring first 95% of the time. And I mean, yeah, they lost the last game, but still Duluth just had an answer. And if you are Duluth, you need a big answer right now. You cannot let this series get out of your hands, because what we've seen from the Maulers all series is when they get a lead, they hold it and they run away with it, and the series is going to be over.
Yeah, looking at where they might end up falling here, I mean, if you lose this series, the next seed that you could be facing could potentially be the 6th seed if the Miracles are able to take that over the Barons. But otherwise, the Barons are also a pretty strong team. This is definitely not a series that they're looking to lose and move down to the losers bracket. Aaron capitalizing. That might be the dagger there. Duluth looking a little awkward. Big ghost touch there. We can blame the servers for that one. Unfortunately, Stego not able to clear it, but quick convert coming out from the Maulers. They are all too comfortable in the lead.
Yeah, 3 goals to the halfway mark, and it could be another one off the kickoff. Takani, of course, gonna drop that one into the midfield. They do recognize that they have time. Stego does beat Aaron CRQ. Is gonna find a Jake. I think the connections overall on the side of the Bloomington Maulers, we haven't seen as many passes. Well, there's a pass, but in the end result, it really does barely anything. But Jake's a bit backwards here. He's gonna have to adjust and make that save. But right now, they can't even get past the midfield line, and we're, you know, this is foreshadowing from games 1 and 2, how Bloomington have just dominated. You know, once they score immediately, it's almost seems like they almost trail at the start of the game by at least 1 goal from the Duluth Superiors, and then they just go on a rampage. This time, Duluth hasn't even gotten 1 yet, and it is a 3-goal lead for the Bloomington Maulers.
I mean, they're just holding it. That's Spartan. Stego gonna have to make the save. He does. Jake with the dunk, tries to go off the backboard for Q. Q is there, but the shot wasn't quite there. A huge demo and Zero Vibes will relieve a ton of counterattack pressure from Duluth. And Bloomington looks to hold a 3-goal lead with 1:10 10 to go. Guys, I mean, it's got to be a big Duluth answer here, but it just seems like it's too much to ask.
Yeah, it would have to be huge. I mean, Takani has put 4 shots on net this series, this game, just like he did last game, just not able to convert. Zero Vibes putting up 2 shots, but not any saves so far. I wonder if there's just maybe some awkward rotations going on. People maybe not feeling super comfortable with this new roster. Some hiccups that we're seeing, but oh, another opportunity from the Maulers. We're gonna see Duluth looking to make a play here. Stego looks to 50Q, but it gets popped out to Jake, who's able to take the ball the other way. They needed that one. That is just gonna go in. Great shot by Jake, and I think that this series is unfortunately over.
No, they had possession of the ball. They had all 3 players available. They just had nobody supporting the play. One was mid, and then the other was demoing, and so they had 0 support. So when that challenge happened on the first man, it was just free ball for the Bloomington Maulers. And of course, when you know almost pretty much every time they've made a mistake, they've punished them.
Gosh.
And it's insult to injury at this point. 5 goals to 0 here in the final game of the series.
I mean, you are just piling it on. If you are Bloomington, this is a statement game, guys. Like, this is absolutely huge. I mean, I want to say that Duluth put up a good fight, and they did. They had a good series,
great
but
shot.
That's a good shot from Zero Vibes, maybe getting some form of mentality back, but 10 seconds left. The series is all but
Possible. So.
yeah.
That's gonna wrap this one up for sure. 11 seconds left. I just don't think that there's anything that Duluth can be doing. I've got word that our next series that we'll be watching will be the Rochester Rhythm and the St. Paul Inferno. St. Paul took out Burnsville.
Senators, you goofy,
Game 5.
you goofy
Senators.
guy.
St. Paul. Okay, well here's it. I was all
St.
worked
Paul
up,
Inferno.
ready for them to run off with it, and I got a very sad message that unfortunately they did lose Game 5
Sorry,
overtime.
Stero. I guess we're gonna have to watch your roster. Or we're not gonna get to watch your roster. I'm sorry. Although, you know, with their, you know, with the scores that are coming in currently, guys, trying to get the bracket updated as quick as possible. But the Inferno did actually lose to the Miracles 3-2 in Game 5. So, of course.
Wait, St. Paul, right?
No, the Barons. Excuse me. The Barons
Senators.
lost to the Miracles
it's
in Game 5. I apologize. The Inferno lost to St. Paul. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's. I mean, obviously we didn't see a Game 5 here, but stats on your screen. And I mean, anything stick out to you guys from this?
I don't. It was just kind of a domination from the Maulers from Game 1. It was pretty clear they came out swinging really hard, and Superior just not able to hold on from the absolute onslaught that was Q and Aaron. I mean, man, I saw it in the chat earlier, Maulers finals, and after seeing that series, it would not entirely surprise me.
Yeah, I am a big believer now. You know, of course, I want my Rochester team to
No,
go
we
far.
don't want them to go far. We
okay.
don't like Rochester.
But,
Boo.
but the Bloomington Maulers, man, I mean, they come out, and this is not just, you know, a close 4-game series. This is a dominant 4-game series. You know, we saw the 1 game, you know, peak potential from Takani where he scored 4 goals. Out of the 5 his team scored that game. But for me, it was just, you know, of course, you can't rely on Takani to score 4 goals per game.
Yeah.
And for Duluth, I mean, the rest of his team could not step up compared to the Maulers.
We have an upset, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh.
The Atlas have the Atlas being the 10 seed and the Victory being the 7 seed. The Atlas have actually upset them and beat them 3-2. So,
Let's go, Derek!
Almost my prediction. I had
Yeah.
taken it 3-1.
so you are a Atlas fan. Congratulations, your team has won and moved on to play the Lumberjacks second round. But, yeah, it's currently getting the bracket updated for everyone, but of course, our next series being the Rochester Rhythm taking on the St. Paul Senators. And I mean, anything you guys are looking forward to that? We have a couple minutes.
I mean, yeah, this Rochester Rhythm Rising Star team is absolutely crazy. The fact that GB is down here in Rising Star is kind of crazy. That man has so much mechanics. I know he took a break from the game for a while, so his rank doesn't necessarily reflect that, but he has a lot of experience at high-level Rocket League, and with Cloudy there to complement that, that's just a power squad.
I mean, after me and Dicey were considering GB for our third, so I mean, to put it into perspective, you know, we were glad when he, you know, fell to our pick, and of course we took him. It was no questions asked for him to be on the squad.
Yeah. We've reached the end of the first series of the evening. The next series, of course, being the Rochester Rhythm taking on St. Paul Senators. Of course, yeah. We're gonna throw it to a very, very short break. We've got some things to adjust, and yeah, we'll see you when that match comes around. Shouldn't be too long, 5 to 10-ish minutes, probably looking at 6:55. So I will see you guys then.
Make it work. I know I can make it work. I'm not far from perfection, but I know I can make it work. Feels like I'm crazy. Everybody knows my name. Going insane, putting heavy on my brain. I wish we stayed the same. I got way too many thoughts in my brain, but I got memories that run through my veins. I'm not one to blame, but I could point out every way that you changed. Some things stay up while others go right down the drain. And lately we've been going down in flames. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm my therapist is saying that I should. I don't believe her, but I really wish I could. Instead, I guess I'll stay misunderstood. Oh, 'cause I'm stuck now, just trying to figure a way out. I've tried but can't seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm honest, I get my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. But if I'm can't seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to. Photo of you in my mind, on the table under lights. There's no one here but you and I. Town is yours and mine. And I said, hey, Carissa. Stayed up through the days and night, lay and we watched the world get light. Hey, Carissa. Sunlight, freedom in your eyes. Please don't leave now.
Major number 1 will continue, ladies and gentlemen, with the Rochester Rhythm, of course, taking on the St. Paul Senators in winners round 2. So just to throw up the bracket on screen, this is all the matches that I have so far for a recorded. I mean, Maulers Superiors, obviously we watched that one. Senators actually defeating the Inferno 3-2, and then they upset the Atlas, the 10 seed, taking on the Victor, who are the 7. And then the Miracles, the 6 seed, taking care of business over the 11 seed Barons. And so it's Rangers, Maulers, Rhythm, Senators, Lumberjacks, Atlas, Flyers, Miracles. And then, of course, there is a bottom side to the bracket. I will show that when I have an updated number of matches. But still, Stewie, Quick, and Wolf will be joining you for this next series. And, I mean, I just realized I haven't given information to these guys. I apologize.
You know, I've got my prediction. Rochester's gonna win.
Big surprise.
And well, to be fair, the Senators did, pretty much. I think they beat them in 4, or even swept the Rhythm the last time they played them. It's gonna be a revenge arc, though. This is non-biased at all. Rochester's gonna win.
What do you think that the big separating factor is here? Clearly GB is a really strong player. Have you guys seen Focus performing at the level that you expected out of your third?
Yeah, I think so. He's a very solid third, and then we've got, you know, Cloudy, who I think his ceiling is so very high, and when you put all 3 of them together, if they play good, you know, it should be a really good and, you know, a really solid team. Right now, they're 4th, of course, in Rising Star. They were undefeated for a bit, but this Senators team dealt with them pretty easily the last time they played them. So I'm looking for, you know, a closer series than it was last time. I'm thinking maybe 5. I honestly couldn't tell you who was going to win this series. I'd hope for the Rhythm, though.
It wouldn't surprise me to see this one go to Game 5. The Senators, Blue, Owen, and Slay Panther. That's just a fantastic squad. Owen and Slay Panther, both players with a lot of experience here in the MNCS. I believe Blue, this is their 2nd season participating. So that's a squad that definitely has some background, that's played some games together. Neither of these teams making any changes throughout that trade window. So again, these are 2 teams that have been playing all season and that have built up that chemistry.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you know, the last 2 teams we saw, they both made changes. These 2 teams, of course, have had the start of the season to up until now to prepare for this match. So this should be a really good series. You know, looking at that, you know, bracket that Stewie showed us, 3 games went to 5. In that first round, and I think this one could go to 5 as well.
3 out of the 4 did go to 5, and more often than not, the higher seed did come out with the victory, except for the Victory, who moved all the way down to Lord's bracket round 1. So these teams not out. There is a lower bracket. We'll go ahead and throw it up on screen. I don't have an updated quite yet, but as you can see, the loser of each match would go down. So, you know, one thing that stands out is the loser of M1 and M8. And M8 is the Flyers and the Miracle. So the loser of that will play the Duluth Superiors. So a little scary for Duluth because you're playing 2 pretty solid teams right away. And, you know,
something interesting here. Every team that lost was a team that made a trade during the trade window. All the teams that won that past series are teams that stuck around. Duluth swapped out for 0. Inferno picked up a player. Brainerd also just swapped out Chifu. And the Barons, I believe, I don't remember who they dropped out, but they picked up Rizzer. Every team that lost had made a trade. So maybe that chemistry is a little bit bigger than a bigger factor than I originally thought.
Game number 1 loading on in. And here we go. We've got the Rhythm and the Senators. The Rhythm, the number 4 seed. The Senators, of course, finishing out their season. And I mean, I don't say it was a disappointing start, but I mean, they are the 5 seed. This is the 4 versus the 5. This should be a very, very close series. But I mean, I don't think I made my prediction, but I am going to go with the Rhythm in 4 games. I feel like this could be a series that could be quicker than we imagine. And I'm hoping that it's quicker than we imagine, I guess, but it's game time.
Yeah, and I think for me, whenever I watch the Senators play, this team in particular, it's going to be a matter of how quickly they can get into their offensive rhythm when they're finding each other on those big 1-2 passing plays where they have a very strong shot on net. This team, it usually takes, you know, a game or two to get them kind of in that zone, but if they start off early, it could be super dangerous for Rochester to deal with. But right now, a big clear comes out from Blue. Owen looking for almost an impossible read, not able to get a touch on it. And Slay Panther gonna try to keep it in, but GB now has Cloudy on the left side, finds him, but but the Senators are able to block it and be there to stop that threat.
Yeah, huge opportunity there for Rochester. A big difference I'm noticing this series from last series is both these teams definitely look warmed up. They look like they've been playing for a little while, and they're definitely coming out firing a little bit harder. We're going to see this ball get stopped at mid. The Senators able to clear it down to the Rochester zone. Cloudy collecting this in his own corner, is going to look to 50 it along against Blue. Blue back passes it over to Owen, who's going to grab the ball in his own corner. Looking to get this ball moving out towards mid. It gets 50'd towards the end of Rochester. Cloudy collecting this ball at midfield. Looks to beat a defender. Pops it past Blue. It's just off the crossbar. Two close chances for Rochester. Pretty quick here.
Yeah, they've come out swinging. That's good, because you wanted, you know, Rochester, obviously they haven't played yet today. St. Paul has. So guys, if you think about it, Rochester still has to wake up a little bit, but I mean, quick chances on net will definitely do that for you. Maybe a bump here from Cloudy might give you an open opportunity. Cloudy gonna turn on the ball and get the challenge on Owen, but Owen bigger too, and GB gonna keep the ball in the end. Blue with a beautiful clear downfield will follow up with the boost and look to dunk his way through the Rochester rhythm. Not quite yet, and that's a good infield pass for Slay Panther. Not quite there, though, for St. Paul, who look to set up an offensive attack.
And I think for me, the Senators, they do a really good job of challenging the ball, and then pretty much, I feel like every one of these players has done it multiple times before. That's a good pass out to Cloudy, but it's blocked again. They've been doing a really good job of shutting it down.
Great
Here
control.
comes Slay Panther to the bar, and it's going to be off the mark. The follow-up, though, is going to come in eventually. Blue's just going to miss the ball, so that'll set back Senators for a little bit. But the Senators do a really good job of challenging the ball and immediately going, you know, having another challenge on it. And so when one player can do this, they like to follow up their challenges a lot. It's almost like they have three Papos. When he was thriving in Challenger in Season 4, he just went every 50, but GB towards the right side. After St. Paul had so much pressure and opportunities that were on the goal line, the Rochester Rhythm respond. What a placement shot from GB.
I think Rochester's just had some better quality opportunities in the offensive end. That was their third shot, only at 2 shots before that, while the Senators are at 4 shots currently. So it seems like, a great opportunity. Blue reads the save. Man, he was all over that defender. Ties up the game. Really quick response there. That's huge for them. They needed that.
That is absolutely massive. A quick response, like Quick said. And a big chase, of course, for St. Paul, who, you know, you'd be down in the series if you didn't even it up there off the kickoff. So a good kickoff response. And one thing that I don't mention a lot when I cast Rocket League is kickoff plans. And, you know, there are teams that definitely have kickoff plans that will alter the way that they go for a ball off the kickoff to make sure that they win it in a certain direction. And we may not see it in Rising Star, we might see it in Challenger Premier, but I wouldn't put it past any of these Rising Star players to pull out a trick in this Major 1.
And I think, yeah, I would not be surprised. You know, this series, I mean, what a pass from Cloudy. Dropped that one down, but Senators are going to be there again. Both these teams, in terms of, I mean, I think the Senators, for me, look at those passes.
Oh, great!
You know, I was going to mention it. They like to find each other a lot. And for the Rhythm, they do their fair share of passing, but I think more so their mechanical ability on the ball is definitely a little bit ahead of the Senators. But here comes a pop to a bump. Are we watching RLCS right now, Stewie?
you know, that's I don't want to say that's become meta, but it kind of has almost. You know, you see those plays a lot where teams will pull out all the stops they possibly can with 6 seconds.
Was that a blunder?
A big
Owen?
blunder it was. And Focus just finds it over top of Blue. And it's just, I mean, for Rochester, that is absolutely massive.
It is.
Game 1. There's time. If they can shake it off, then it doesn't have to be huge. And it, or yeah, there you go.
Oh my
See?
God.
Owen all over that ball. What a great read from him. Seeing this bounce coming out, beats the defenders, puts it just under the crossbar to tie it up with 3 seconds left in game number 1.
Back-to-back clutch shots within the last 10 seconds of each other. Off the kickoff, there might be a chance. Ooh, Cloudy trying to keep that one up. Who knows what would have happened if he was able to keep that one up. As we head into overtime in game number 1, it's been a thriller so far. We're gonna have to see who clutches up when it matters.
Opportunity! There it is!
There it is. Blue will win it for the St. Paul Senators, who will steal game 1 from the Rochester Rhythm. And what did we just witness? Unbelievable.
Yeah, fantastic shot there coming out from Blue. That was a pretty evenly matched game. I don't think that just because the Senators won it means that that this series is anywhere near over. The Rhythm showing huge signs of life. Owen, that last goal to tie it up did seem like something that Rochester maybe should have got on. It was an awkward bounce, but at least from my perspective, that's kind of where they gave that game away.
I would say it was a massive blunder. I mean, you go up with 6 seconds left on the clock, and Wolf, you don't finish the game out. You give up a goal with 2 seconds left. How? Off the kickoff.
Off the kickoff, and
it's a massive play because you go from possibly a game 1 win to a game 1 loss.
And I mean, all those goals, I mean, the first one came out from the Rhythm with 7 seconds left. Focus, of course, off the blunder from the Senators, was able to score. And then the Senators immediately respond. And then that overtime just went like that. I think like 10 seconds in or something crazy like that. Blue just came in and shot at top right and called game for the St. Paul Senators. So I have no clue where this next game's going to go, but it sure as heck will probably be entertaining.
Yeah, we're going to see this ball right away end up in the Senators' zone. Focus takes his time, pops it past the defender, puts it past 2, and puts it in the back of the net. Quick strike there from Focus. Great read by him to see all 3 defenders up in the corner. Slows the ball down, beats Owen, and it was just all over at that point.
Yeah, like Quick said, it really was. It was a very smart play, a good, intelligent play, and that's big for Rochester. You answer back in this second game, trying to get your mojo back after it was stolen by the Senators, who looked to even the game, but Cloudy gonna step in front. Has the boost, gets a flip reset, has another one, doesn't get 2. He finds the passes to the he can't get it. And Owen makes the stand on his goal line.
You know, there's the high ceiling I was talking about with Cloudy. He almost pulled it off there. But they're gonna retain possession. What a flick from Cloudy that goes so high. Blue's got a reset, looks for 2. Owen's gonna come in though and possibly take his shot as he did not connect on that last reset. Slay Panther looking for 2. We've got some players going for some clips in some important games.
I'm loving the aerial plays that we're seeing here. These teams are, I mean, they're doing everything they can to try to put that ball in the back of the net. Blue almost end up going in. Unfortunate touch. Looked like the ball had a little bit too much speed there. Came off the, a slight bump from Focus. Threw him off. Focus beating that himself. Rude Focus.
Oh boy. I mean, come on. At this point, yes, we, like Wolf said, we have some players going for some clips in some very important games. This is a very important series. Winner of this moving to winner's semifinal, in winners round 3 technically, but This is a big series, and for Rochester to come out with a 2-goal lead is massive because they're trying to answer in a big way off of, you know, what can be considered a throw of the century in game 1.
And yeah, I mean, just that game 1 was so crazy, but now Rochester, they've settled in. They've got a 2-goal lead here. Blue's gonna go missing on that one. Slay Panther looking for a challenge, but Cloudy is going to bully his way through. There goes low. Oh, he was looking for that soft pop touch to get it over the defender. He almost had it. It's a very precise maneuver, of course, to pull up, but Cloudy's gonna backflip. Focus is back. He's got Slay Panther looking to harass him on the goal line.
No.
Owen has a shot chance.
Pass.
Slay Panther shot crossbar and out. And the Rochester Rhythm hang on to the 2-goal lead.
Good reads coming out from St. Paul there to take their time. Another opportunity, but just off. Ah, man, St. Paul really looking to score here as we enter the halfway point of game number 2. Down by 2. I don't think that they really need it yet, but we're sure starting to reach that territory. Cloudy is absolutely tearing apart this Senators squad, though. Taking a demo there, he's still down the offensive end. He's going to look to center this one down to GB. GB gets under the ball. He pops it up towards net, just off the corner. Great opportunity there from the Rochester squad. Man, they are coming out swinging. I keep saying it, but these guys are playing so well together. The team plays are seen from both squads. GB almost reads that one off the wall. Cloudy looks to put it in, but it gets clear down to the Rochester end. Blue 15 focus down in the Rochester corner. GB's going to try to clear it out, but it gets banged across. Cloudy putting the ball mid. It's going to get picked up by Slay Panther. He looks to put it past the defenders. Focus misses the ball. They're right back in it.
A huge answer, 1 goal. And guys, we saw in game number 1, they scored with 2 seconds left. They scored in 4 seconds. This is far, and I mean far, like, you know, end of the earth to the other end of the earth far. Like, from over, okay? For St. Paul, if you somehow even this game up, then we go to a maybe overtime, or you win this in regulation, this is an absolute highway robbery. I mean, you cannot, Rochester cannot let St. Paul get away with this. So if you're Rochester, you got to stabilize, play
Cloudy,
physical,
nice
and the
play.
pump is going to create a 2-goal lead again.
I love the physicality from Cloudy here. He just sees Focus as a shot chance and just chips him, forces him to jump. He didn't really make huge contact on Slay Panther, but forced him to avoid the bump, and that was enough to throw him off his game on the goal line. And the Rochester Rhythm get back their 2-goal lead that they had at the start.
Ball is going to get banged down. GB catching it at midfield. He's going to get 50 by Slay Panther. Focus looking to 50 Owen. Owen puts on the Rochester back corner, not able to get the double. GB looking to collect this ball at mid. Blue's going to 50 it over to the side wall. You're going to see Focus go up, centers the ball down to Cloudy, who is there with the shot on net. 3-goal difference now. 4-1 under a minute. Rochester is not looking to lose game number 2.
No, they are not.
Great read, Cloudy.
That's a very good pass. And I mean, guys, Rochester has just they flipped the script completely from what we saw from game 1 for St. Paul, who looked to try and steal this second game, but Rochester just slammed the door in their face and said, no, we are going to a game 4 no matter what. So, of course, if Rochester closed this 30 seconds out, we will get a game 4. And for St. Paul, still a possible 3-1 victory, but you need to put away Rochester when you have them, you know, down and out. So you're looking possibly to do better in game 3. Do better.
Man, after this game 2, it just seems like a fluke how that game 1 went. And it was, really, in the end, but both teams scoring, you know, with pretty much 5 seconds left. 2 goals were scored. But that's another goal for Cloudy. And, you know, we didn't talk about this. Focus has 700 points in 3 goals. He's got a hat trick here, and Cloudy just got his second as well. The Rochester Rhythm have more than a comfortable win here in game 2.
Yeah, no kidding. Cloudy probably looking for that hat trick. We're going to see Blue looks to get the ball at mid, but he gets 50'd up by Focus. Owen pops it up. We're going to see GB bang it down as the clock ticks down. This game is over. GB just forcing it past Blue. little disrespects to end the game there. Great touches by GB. Man, it did not matter that blue was there at all. GB forces it in, almost gets the Brazil to tie the series up at 1-1. Wolf, I'm guessing that that's what you were talking about, expecting during the pregame.
Yeah. You know, he was our third, but he hard carries us.
No kidding, apparently.
But yeah, the Rochester Rhythm respond, of course, and in dominant fashion, they go from losing by 1 to winning by 5 in game number 2. And the Rochester Rhythm, no doubt, have the momentum right now as they've tied up the series 1-1.
A good answer, and yeah, Focus 3 for 4, 3 saves and an assist. Everyone contributing for Rochester. Of course, for the Senators, a little odd because it just seemed like they got the door slammed in their face for some odd reason. I don't know what happened between game 1 and 2, but ever since that certain mark, it just things completely switched. It's like Rochester found a different level completely.
Focus looked absolutely fantastic that last game. I think that was the separating factor. You know, I kind of mentioned that GB has such a high skill ceiling. We talk about Cloudy, very mechanic player that also has a very high skill ceiling. Focus just seems just as talented. Like, these are 3 guys that all have a ton of talent and skill in Rocket League, and they're playing the team plays that we're seeing are absolutely insane. They're looking very good. Cloudy is reading all of his teammates and capitalizing every single time he can.
And this is the Rochester that, you know, I saw the potential in. After that game 1, they have not yet to get there, but that is crazy. It goes bottom left, it went straight up, and they were not able to.
Ooh, a great bump there.
The count recover in time. Slave Panther, though, out of his corner. Blue gonna barely get a touch on that one. Focus up for this one. Commits 2 from St. Paul. And now the Rochester Rhythm are gonna... Oh, Cloudy's gonna miss that one, and so their transition's a bit awkward.
Good touch midfield from Cloudy. Good demo as well. We'll give Rochester a chance of a semblance of control.
Oh, there it is!
Just the shot! It's right on the Slave
Play.
Panther! And somehow, St. Paul does not concede a goal. There it is! GB
what a
finds the
read!
back of the net, and Rochester will go up 1-0.
Popped up by Cloudy. GB reads that ball coming out middle, and he gets all over it before the defenders even have a chance to realize what's going on. Puts it on target. This Rochester squad is looking unstoppable. Only 1 goal so far in game number 3. Cloudy banging this ball down into the offensive zone. Slave Panther's going to pop it out towards middle. Owen puts the ball on towards the Rochester net. GB collecting it, puts it back into his own corner. See Evan try to keep up the offensive pressure, not able to get the movement to stay on the ball, and the ball will get banged down to the Senator side. Blue collecting this one in his own corner. He clears it back down. A little bit of dump and chase going on between both teams as they look to get some footing here.
He tried to execute that back pass. What a quick touch from GB to get it past that oncoming Senators challenger. And GB now, it's another touch around the St. Paul defense as Rochester trying to get a bit creative here. It's off the backboard. Cloudy cannot get back to his own touch. They've got 2 committed. Looking for the bumps is Blue, and Owen is going to score. It is textbook play. Take possession of the ball, go for a bump, and they execute it to perfection.
And nothing Focus can do for that. I mean, Wolf, you can't give them that much of an opportunity because, I mean, it's just so clean and so clear and concise. It's impossible to give up.
Free one?
Is he getting another one? Off the backboard, Cloudy goes missing. Slave Panther's there, and it's a 1-goal lead.
How many kickoff goals have there been this series?
I mean,
Is that the first one this series? Does it feel like a lot because of last series?
well, no, the game 1 was the 4-second
Game
kickoff
one
goal.
for-
So
yeah,
this
right.
is what, the 3rd or 4th? Close.
First one. Yeah. Kickoff's pretty huge in this series so far. We're going to see another one go in favor of Rochester. Slave Panther trying to collect this one. It's going to get popped out towards mid by GB. Cloudy looks to get the double, but Blue is there to collect the ball. Ball bouncing out towards center. Focus keeping it in the offensive zone. Blue looking to keep the ball corner. Great movement by him to get recovered and bang that ball down to the Rochester end. Senators looking to get some offensive pressure. Slay bangs the ball into the corner. Owen follows it. We're going to see GB bang the ball out towards mid, looking to get it past Blue, who's back, not able to get the demo there. Focus, putting this ball centers, Cloudy there. No, he leaves it for the Senators to clear it away. Smart play by him, gets it past one, but Blue is going to bang it down. Oh, a pass by Owen gives Slay an opportunity to get control of the ball. Bangs it away, gave away possession on that one, unfortunately. Owen puts this one on net. Senators looking a little slow here. Rochester definitely looking to create an opportunity as Focus takes the ball into the offensive end.
Yeah, they're down by one here. They've got a minute 40 left. That's not good if he's able to, execute on that open net quickly. He was not able to with the boost amount he had. It's off the backboard. Slay Panther to Owen. It's going to be denied by Focus. Blue now coming in as Owen's going to get a piece of it. And both him and Slay Panther commit. And now Cloudy has a little bit of a chance, but Owen just immediately cuts them off. Their instant challenges are not giving Rochester much time to work with. Focus is going to bang that one towards the net. Blue's a bit awkward on his recovery. Still gets a 50 and a clear to go along with it.
And one thing I didn't mention for Major 1 is with how many games, guys, like we talked about earlier, with how many games these teams are possibly going to play, adjustments are absolutely massive. You have to adjust to each team as you go. And Slay Panther, that's adjustments. Midfield pass, 2-goal lead. It's 52 seconds on the clock. This game is far from over, but Senators making it happen.
Yeah, what a pass and what a smack there by Slay Panther. 135 kilometers per hour. That ball was absolutely screaming. GB taking this one. Oh, the demo. Oh, but Slay Panther saves it. That was 2 opportunities for Rochester to get back in this one. But Slay Panther absolutely shut the door on them. Blue gets bumped back, but Owen's on the ball. He puts it in.
What?
Oh, what just happened?
What?
Great reactions.
Yeah. What just happened? Blue touches it.
What?
Calculated.
We are speechless on pretty much the dagger here in game number 3. But wow.
I don't know. It was a bump from Blue. It was a bump from Blue. He got bumped back into the ball. The ball went back into Slay Panther, and it was just a free pass. I don't understand it. I don't know. Nevertheless, 4-1 for St. Paul. If you're just joining us, this is the second match of the evening. The Senators versus the Rhythm in winners round 2 of Major 1 for Rising Star. And the Rhythm refused to go away.
Yeah, like you mentioned, this is only our second series for the night, and this is the 3rd game in that series. St. Paul trying to keep them alive in this one. They got 12 seconds left. With how aggressive these kickoffs have been, this game is definitely not over for Rochester. We're going to see Slay bang this ball into the offensive end. Cloudy puts it back the other way. No flip. Owen with the great stuff. This game is going to close out. Ball touches the ground, and we're going to see Senators pull ahead in this series 2-1. Rochester came out swinging last game. Did you see anything there, Wolf, that seemed like the Senators had just kind of figured it out, or were the Rhythm just off?
I mean, man, we had that, that final goal was just out of this world, and then we had, the passing play before that, where it was Blue sniped Slay Panther in the midfield, and they were able to capitalize on that one. And it just seemed like the Senators were starting to click. And on top of that, we didn't have, the same performance, from Rochester that they had, of course, in that game too, nowhere near that 6-1 victory. And, the Senators were able to, play their game, get comfortable, and the Rhythm, of course, you had that one bump play. It just seemed like everything was going in the way of the Senators. And right now, Rochester's got to respond.
Yeah, Blue was first that last series, and he didn't have a single goal. It was all 4 assists that he had that put up the points for them to take that one. So it seems like he's going to be the one to stop. I mean, he has got this Rochester squad figured out, it seems.
Game number 4. St. Paul looking on match point to finish off Rochester, and the number 5 looking to beat the number 4 here in Major 1, round number 2 of the winners bracket. Winner going to the winners semi-final. Of course, that won't be on stream, but that second other match is coming up next when we receive scores. But for now, everybody playing their winners round 2 matches right now. And the lower teams actually waiting for those matches to finish before they can start their losers bracket runs. But guys, this match has definitely delivered. It's been a good series so far. Back and forth action, a couple blowouts, but other than that, it's been very close Rocket League. Some incredible solo plays. Maybe a solo play here, but GB can't get it by the defense.
Great pressure coming in. Shot! Slay Panther puts it in. What just happened?
It just seems like every time we start talking, they score. GB just gets absolutely dunked by Slay Panther, and I was wondering when those challenges were going to come into play from the Senators team. They are so dominant in the challenge game. That one just goes right through as GB kind of hit the ball right into him, and then, you know, was not able to follow it up. Focus trying to stay behind that one, as Cloudy now going to follow this one off the wall. Shot, and it's in, and the Rochester Rhythm respond here immediately in game 4.
Let's go, Cloudy. He is definitely feeling it this series. He has been the standout player on that Rochester squad for me. Focus also, I mean, man, you guys have such an incredibly well-rounded out squad, and it is really showing this series. Tying it up 1-1 with a minute and a half gone. Blue looking to put this one in and get ahead. Gets bounced out. Slay Panther's there. Is Owen able to follow it up? Oh, GB with the bump keeps the ball away. Focus keeping this ball at mid. Owen collecting it. Looking to put this on net. He goes over. Slay Panther is there. Ball is going to get cleared into Rochester's corner. Owen looking to collect this ball. Tries to get on net, but it's just wide left. Owen keeping this ball center. Can he get it on? He can! He finds the angle so incredibly tight, just off to the side of the net there. Great shot.
A great turn from Owen. The recovery's on point. The form on point for Major One for St. Paul, who lead 2-1 in this game. 3 minutes to go. You have all of the game if you are Rochester to answer. You answered early on afterwards. Now you gotta answer again. And St. Paul, it just seems like they continue to knock at the door and force Rochester to open it up. So if you're Rochester, answer right now. Find a way to win this game and get to game 5, and that's where your momentum will carry you for game 4, from game 4, excuse me. So, but if you're St. Paul, you got to close them out right now. You've got the number 4 seed on their heels.
You know, they've got to answer, but they also got to keep this game close. GB gonna get dunked by Slay Panther. They'll go off the corner. Owen hitting a 50. Blue's gonna be up for this. Kind of slow. Let's Focus beat him there. Slay Panther has 1 touch, looks for 2, but Focus should have the backboard covered. He does. Cloudy does not get a touch on the ball. Blue's gonna send it off the corner, but GB is going to win. They've got about a 3v1 set up. They're gonna leave it for Focus, but the save from Slay Panther and a huge counterattack chance for the Senators.
That confidence from GB has been absolutely huge this match. He is not afraid to get out and challenge that ball up high at mid, keep it away from even getting centered on the Rochester end. Focus looking to get a center here. It goes past 2. GB gets a touch. Is it enough? Oh, Blue is there to clear that one away. Rochester keeps it in the offensive zone, gets passed over to Cloudy, who bounced it off the corner. Focus is there, but Slay clears it. Blue with the touch off his teammate. We're going to see Cloudy cut this ball at mid. Senators getting a free pickup in their own zone. Slay is going to take it off of his own corner, pops it out to Owen at center. A little awkward from St. Paul, looking to find the rotations here. We see that go on. That gets cleared away by the defenders. Owen passes it back to Blue, who's looking to get the ball going. Rochester is absolutely shutting down St. Paul at the midfield right now. I mean, they're cutting off everything that they can and setting each other up perfectly.
But they can't break through. That's the thing. Yes, they're holding them in, like Quick said. They're getting the chances, but they can't find it.
There it is.
GB gonna tie the game at 2 apiece. Finally, they break through. They've held the wall at the midfield and holding that midfield boost. St. Paul finally runs out with 56 seconds, and this is scary for St. Paul because you had this in the bag.
I mean, looking back to game 1, how this game could end, I have no clue. We've got 50 seconds left in game number 4 for Rochester. They're trying to stay alive in the series because St. Paul's on match point. Oh, and quick shot on net. GB's got to get back for the save. And as time is ticking down, GB a one-man offense right now for Rochester. Cloudy is going to be up for this one. Tries to go for 2. That would have been the goal of all leagues if he was able to somehow put that on net. But now Owen Demo comes out, the physicality. You have to wonder in these clutch time moments, are we gonna see some physicality? Double commit, Focus has a save. Cloudy pops it over Slay Panther. But now GB, a quick challenge. Cloudy, he's been dangerous. Oh, with the touch, Focus with the save. 10 seconds left. Are we headed to overtime, or do we got something more from St. Paul?
Ball is going to stay in the Rochester end. Blue looks to keep this one alive. It bounces down. GB pops it up. Focus puts the ball up at center. GB looks to keep the ball alive. We're going to see that's all the defenders that are up right now. If they can just get it centered. We've got Blue back in net. Cloudy looking to keep the ball up at 0 seconds. GB almost able to roll it up. 2-2 match point. Rochester needs this kickoff goal. Owen might get it though. Huge center. Slay gets the demo, but Cloudy was in the way, so it threw him off. Oh, that was a massive play by Cloudy to get in the way there.
Focus on the backboard. Can he find an infield pass? Slay, though, gonna step in front. 15 seconds into overtime, and most overtimes are done early. Rochester trying to end it early. Focus is there. It's off the backboard. GB, does he have the read? He does, but it's not on target. Did Blue catch Rochester out? No. Cloudy is on the back line. And for Rochester, you have had some chances to double up the sidewall. Can he get the recovery? He can. Infield for GB's off the backboard. Oh, Cloudy's not on target.
Oh, man.
And we keep going in overtime, almost getting to a minute. St. Paul trying to get their chances, and so many close calls for both teams. Can St. Paul try to end it here, or can Rochester stay alive? We don't know. We're a minute in.
What a save, or what a block
the miss!
from Cloudy. Slay Panther's back, though, and he's going to send it forward to Owen. He's got him in the corner. It's off the corner. Double commit from Rochester could be dangerous on their own end. Blue off the backboard. Slay Panther to follow it.
Close. Owen with a touch.
Cloudy has won, but he gives it right to Blue.
And
the St. Paul Senators defeat the Rochester Rhythm in Game 4.
Blue, the MVP for this team. I mean, setting up his teammates, scoring goals himself.
Every overtime, he's got a top right shot.
Wow. What a series. What a Game 4. What a game. Hats off to those guys for a Game 4.
Close.
That was incredible. That was a series for, I mean, despite it going to 4 games, that's my favorite series of the major right now. But that overtime was insane. Even the matches leading up to overtime, it couldn't get any closer.
Yeah, no kidding. So that means that Rochester will now face Brainerd in the lower bracket round 1. And St. Paul is going to move on to face the winner of the Hibbing Rangers versus the Bloomington Maulers. Not sure if that report has come in yet, but I'm sure that was an incredibly exciting game. I would guess that Maulers would carry that momentum through to that series, but right now Rochester only able to take 1 game off the St. Paul Senators, but that does not mean that it was not an incredibly close series. Those were super tight games all the way through. Rochester clearly wanted it, but Senators just a little bit more solid of a team today.
Yeah, I would say that St. Paul just had the ice.
It was so close.
It was
so close.
So close. You can't get any closer than that. And some scores coming in.
I just joined. You got to root for Rochester.
some scores coming in. The St. Cloud Flyers have actually defeated the Minneapolis Miracles on the bottom side of the bracket to advance to that winners bracket semifinal number 2. Which we will see them on stream. So we're going to see the St. Cloud Flyers on stream. That was a Game 5. You can't get any closer than that. This one, of course, wasn't. And, I mean, it couldn't get any closer. Look at the saves on the screen. The shots from Blue. 1 for 7. He's bound to find 1.
Man. Yeah, Blue definitely the X factor for that series for the center. I mean, Owen and Slay Panther also looking great. It is surprising to me with the amount of double commits that the Senators had made that Rochester was not able to capitalize on those a little bit more. But I mean, if the Senators are used to that super aggressive play style, and that man who was first is now rotating back to third, it doesn't have to be detrimental. Clearly, you are able to make that work. And yeah, they were still able to outscore Rochester, even though I felt like they were not as solid in the on their rotations and with those double commits.
And I believe still waiting for scores to come in. Of course, you know, for this series, it was close. It was close all the way around. I forgot to actually bring us up on screen. Sorry, guys. We're right here. Hello. Of course, still waiting for a couple more scores on the bracket, but yeah, I'm gonna actually ask the Maulers as to who in the heck won.
Have they finished up?
I believe they did. I saw a message, but of course, this next match being winners round 3, which is the winners semifinals, it will feature the St. Cloud Flyers and I believe the Lumberjacks, who took down the Atlas. Actually,
That wouldn't be terribly surprising. That Lumberjack squad is really solid this season. I mean, the Atlas, though, with Nate, Doty, and Derek.
Oh boy,
they were the ones I had favored.
Okay, so yeah, I would have taken them off your favorited list, Mr. Quick. They got 3-0.
Really?
Yeah. So the Lumberjacks gonna move on in series. It's an actual 3-0. So that's the actual first 3-0 of the set.
First sweep.
Correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's surprising. That wouldn't have been the series that would have expected it. But man, clearly Bemidji is warmed up and ready to play today. It'll be pretty exciting to get for them to take on the St. Cloud Flyers. I would imagine, are the Flyers back at full strength now, I believe? Or are they still waiting on a
I believe they have Sonkers back.
Okay.
So
yeah, if they're playing at full strength for this, that's going to be a tough series for Bemidji, even if they have the better record.
Yeah, definitely. But that was just our second series of the day, and next series, of course, being that winners bracket semi-final. I'll throw it on the screen for everyone, but we're still waiting on a couple responses from teams as to who won to determine. But of course, we know actually the winner's semifinal will be the Bemidji Lumberjacks and the St. Cloud Flyers. That match will be happening after a very, very, very short intermission. So don't go away, friends. We're not on the screen right now, but we are in your ears. So we'll have that match in just a bit.
And all of my time was wasted trying to be there to get you through. I'm working the night shift, spending all of my time helping your mind shift while I'm losing mine. Working the night shift, think I'm going blind. 'Cause every time you're crying, I can't see bright. Clocking in till I'm all worked out. I got a psychic now, yeah, with a therapy couch. But you attention like I pay my rent, and when the last one sank, got a brand new tech. Try to give you the benefit, give you all of my credit, but I think we come to the end of it. You've been maxing it out. I don't have much to give. I'm working the night shift, spending all of my time helping your mind shift while I'm losing mine. Working the night shift, think I'm going blind. 'Cause every time you're crying, I can't see bright. You fall asleep too fast. I hope my head don't crash. Don't think that I can last. You're supported. Sometimes I need the same. Been falling through my brain. I gave myself away. 'Cause I need you. I thought this was a two-way track. Turned around. Please think I'm going blind, 'cause every time you're crying, I can't see right.
Me and you and me was a dream at first. I got lost in your world, in your universe. I never thought our love would ever end. I messed up, made it worse, pushed you away. All that fighting and pain till you left one day. Wish I could take back all those things I said. I can't deny that I miss you, and I know that you miss me too. So let's get over our issues and go back to me plus you. I know that things weren't perfect, but I think it's worth it. Nobody knows you like I do. I can't deny that I miss you, I miss you. Let's go back to me plus you. I can't deny that I miss you, and I know that you miss me too. So let's get over our issues and go back to me plus you. I know that things weren't perfect, but I think it's worth it. Nobody knows you like I do. I can't deny that I miss you, I miss you. Let's go back to me plus you. I'm a mess, I'm a wreck when I see your face, and I know that you're feeling exactly the same. Let's stop pretending we should stay apart. Tried to meet someone new, but they can't compare. And I know that I'm being a bit unfair, but you're the only one that's in my heart. I can't deny that I miss you, and I know that you miss me too. So let's get over our issues and go back to me plus you. I know that things weren't perfect, but I think it's worth it. Nobody knows you like I do. I can't deny that I miss you, I miss you. Let's go back to me plus you. I can't deny that I miss you, and I know that you miss me too. So let's get over our issues and go back to me plus you. I know that things weren't perfect, but I think it's worth it. Nobody knows you like I do. I can't deny that I miss you, I miss you. Let's go back to me plus you.
I still think of you.
We on the top and we ain't gonna fall. It's an obsession, a habit you call. We hitting automatic, never stall. Only got one tactic, do it all. I'm from the bottom, I hate what I saw. I couldn't walk, so I learned how to crawl. They wanna talk when you're back to the wall. So I say later, my aim moving small. Money grows from my intuition. I just bought a crib, that's my first edition. People hate it when you claim a vision, but I use a static when I hit ignition. Hungry moves, I'm faster in a minute. I stay fresh to death, I'm in a mint condition. Forge a heat, no matter where I've been, and give me any place, and it'll be a kitchen. This how we flow to the top. I'm on a wave and it never gon' stop. I hit a 3, now we running the clock. 24 seconds, I still block your shot. I'm making this an eternal spot. Permanent stain in the flow, ink blot. Don't step to me when I get too hot. I'ma end your life and it's all you got. We on the top and we ain't gonna fall. It's an obsession, a habit you call. We hitting automatic, never stall. Only got one tactic, do it all. I'm from the bottom, I hate what I saw. I couldn't walk, so I learned how to crawl. They wanna talk when you're back to the wall. So I say later, my aim moving small. Homemade flow, I'm a PVC. There ain't one player out doing this like me. Heart rate froze, check the EKG. I hate wasting time, no eventually. Routine routine work when nobody see, but I ain't feel the stress, I know it's meant to be. 30 beats, I'm on a killing spree. I made every song in my discography. Yeah, that's every cent, every dollar. I ain't tryna listen to a broke scholar. Making moves to make the money taller, to the cash topping on the Eiffel Tower. Labels calling, I won't wear the collar. With my own drive, I can take it farther. Do it myself, don't ever bother. Been self-made now, shout out to my father. We on the top and we ain't gonna fall. It's an obsession, a habit you call. We hitting automatic, never stall. Only got one tactic, do it all. I'm from the bottom, I hate what I saw. I couldn't walk, so I learned how to crawl. They wanna talk when you're back to the wall. So I say later, my aim moving small. Woo.
Came from a broken home. I've seen so many people go. Learn to make it on my own. It's easier for me to be alone. So how are you? Keep cutting through. Claiming you're not like the other guys. And only if I could give you a chance. Show me that you mean it. We'll feel some type of way. Something must be wrong with me. Keep wanting just to see you show up at my door. Et même quand je suis froide, un peu indifférent, tu continues tout de même de montrer tes efforts. I'm trying to keep my heart in peace. I just can't think but the way that I feel. It's too hard to trust. I miss it all. I just can't risk to be falling like this.
Major One continues, ladies and gentlemen. Fiddlesticks and Ben joining with me. I replaced Quicken and Wolf. We sent them on their way. Now it's Mr. Fiddlesticks, a regular face, and Ben, a regular face, general manager of the Bemidji Lumberjacks. So I bet he is happy to see his team in this winner's semifinal. But yes, winner's semifinal. Of course, the third match of the evening. We're gonna try and get you guys going as quick as possible. But of course, how the bracket has turned out, here's the latest update I have. Of course, 3 out of the 4 games going to 5 in that first round. 3-1 in favor of the Maulers, 3-2 in favor of the Senators. The upset from the Atlas over the victory. Miracles beating the Barons, taking care of business, and then the Rangers beating the Maulers on the top side. The Rhythm, unfortunately, losing to the Senators, and then the Lumberjacks stomping the Atlas in a sweet fashion, and then the Flyers beating the Miracles in 5, and that is where we currently sit. Lumberjacks, Flyers, Rangers, Senators. Winner of these matches goes to the winners bracket final, and that's a best of 7. So we're still in a best of 5, guys. But you know, Ben, I guess I'll just start with you and then go to Fiddlesticks. Ben, how are you feeling about this match with your team in it?
Well, I actually was just talking to them after they swept the Atlas. They're feeling great, obviously, coming off of a sweep. Yeah, they really expressed it. They're feeling awesome. They're having a great time. The only concern would be, you know, maybe having too much fun. You know, obviously they need to have some level of seriousness that maybe the Flyers would have after barely getting that match or that series win. So we'll definitely see. This is, again, you mentioned this a couple minutes ago off stream. This is going to be a fantastic matchup. Fiddle, what do you got?
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. This is going to be a great game. It's two teams that expected to be here when you look at the draw, as the bracket came out before we started play here in the major, and they both want to put a stamp on it and make it into that upper bracket final. So I think you guys are absolutely right. It looks like players are ready to go, talking about being hungry. I'm not sure if it's for the win or if they need to go get some food, but like you said, let's hope they bring their A game, and we should have a great series here lined up for us.
Game number 1, ladies and gentlemen, loading on in. Lumberjacks Flyers winner going into the winners bracket final. That is a best of 7 match, and here we go. It's coming on in. Ori 40 and Forza. A tough name to say for the Lumberjacks, but that's okay. Schlonkers returning after his 4-week hiatus. He's back for the St. Cloud Flyers. Was drafted to them, was not able to play the first 4 weeks of the season, and he's coming back in a great spot here with Rainy Nut and Tizzy, who have looked clinical this season. Both of those players with LJ, I thought they were the best team in Rising Star at one point.
Yeah, I was really considering Schlonkers. Actually had the opportunity to draft him, but I was just too concerned about him missing so much of the season. So I guess tonight we'll see really if that was a good idea or not. Actually, right now, as Lumberjacks on the offense here, Tizzy goes for a tough read. Great read there. Now Schlonkers trying to beat Ori. A little bit of a miss there. Do we know, was Schlonkers playing in this 4-week hiatus? I assume no, right?
I'm not sure. I assume no as far as matches goes, but he might have been practicing. I have no idea, but he did come back for week 5, and I believe that was a win for them. I can double check really quickly as to what St. Paul did in their Rising Star week 5. Actually, I have it pulled up right now, and it was a win for them over the Barons in 4. So I assume he came back and it was a massive play, but Bemidji doesn't care.
Yeah, Bemidji starting out really strongly there, getting the first goal, 40 with a play off the back wall, and Ori just coming in, slamming it right in front of Rainy Nut. But they take the 1-0 deficit right now, but I agree with you that they looked really good when LJ was in there. I know that I casted a couple of games as Ori has a second opportunity to put him up 2-0, unable to finish. Forza comes in, and we have a really good save off the back line. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Schlonkers fits in now that they're in some higher pressure situations.
And you know, sorry to cut you off, Ben. Sorry, go ahead. You go ahead, my man. You're the one who needs.
I was just doing play-by-play. You're doing something interesting.
Yeah,
well, let's hear it.
And one thing that I forgot about, Ben, is this is a battle of former teammates. Forza and Schlonkers were of the St. Cloud Flyers last season, who went undefeated. So this is a battle of former teammates, rating up with 2.
Yeah, no, that was a big part too. Like I knew that they both had chemistry. But yeah, I guess we'll see tonight what the right idea was.
Well, coming in now with 2 minutes gone, a goal on each side. Rainy Nut with a really pretty double tap there to tie up the game, as both teams seem to be a little bit back and forth. There's not a whole lot of concerted pressure right now. Ori trying to get a touch off the sidewall, but he does get the demo. Rainy Nut takes a 50, trying to leave it for a teammate, does leave it for Tizzy, but 40's able to get a good 50 out of his own back end. Tizzy trying to get a bump there before he retreats out of the zone, but gets it only so far as Ori, who plays to 40, who misses Rainy Nut with a wide open shot right in the middle of the net to take a 2-1 lead.
You can't give those to Rainy Nut, who already has a double tap in this game, and he's answered back, but plenty of time for Bemidji to get back into this. I've loved what I've seen from Bemidji. They have been very, very good as far as getting chances on net, but again, St. Cloud just has this thing about them where they will not go away no matter what series they're in.
Yeah, absolutely. As they brought the last series to Game 5, not stopping. Relentless pressure as Schlonkers working his way back. Ori working around Chise. Forza's got an opportunity. It's wide though, unfortunately. Now all 3 Lumberjacks in the zone. Izzy gets a good clear there. A big bump by Rainy, opens up the net, but Schlonkers unfortunately missing. And now Rainy Nut's being really patient there on the back line. As now it comes out and he's in, and that's a shot on goal. And that will be a hat trick for Rainy 3 minutes in.
Yeah, he picks up that hat trick really early here. He's been in the right spot at the right time. Don't get me wrong, he scored a really pretty double tap there for his first. These next two, though, have just kind of been right place, right time, finishing, a poacher's goal, as you call it in soccer, and he's playing that role really well right now for him, and that's what they need.
The tap-in merchant is what you could call him. He's putting the ball into the back of the net. And I like what you said there, Fiddlesticks. That was crazy. Slonkers with a crazy shot. Will slam it to the bottom of the net, and a 4-1 lead for St. Cloud.
Now Lumberjacks, just like the Wild last night, if you watch hockey, they need to stop the bleeding.
Oh, man.
We don't need to get started on that.
Yeah, that was a tough game to watch.
I apologize.
That was
for
a tough game to watch. I just, none of these players are going to be subbed out for your starting goaltender. But of course, I don't know. Decision making. But for St. Cloud, a good start to this series. You're up 4-1. You're looking to punch your ticket into a winner's bracket final. But for now, you need to, pretty much continue this pressure through game 2. For Bemidji, you got to stop the bleeding right now, like we said.
Yeah, one of you had mentioned in the pregame, but you wondered what it would be like as Tizzy has a wide open opportunity, just gets past him. But with Bemidji coming off a sweep and St. Cloud coming off a 5-game series, are we going to see a bit of a lag from the Lumberjacks? And it looks like that could be happening here if the scoreline stays where it's at. And if you're the Lumberjacks, you're also not, you're not too worried about a game 1 loss here, I think. You have time to regroup, get yourselves back together, and maybe get a goal here before the end.
Yeah, it's tough though, as the Lumberjacks, they haven't dropped a match here tonight, so it's going to be weird from them coming from behind. Is almost a great shot there by Tizzy. Put that one to 4-goal difference. Now Ori, a tough miss there. Forza's got to get it, and now he's got time. Oh, but he got faked so hard by Rainy Knight, who's had such a stellar game here. And now Tizzy plays it off the wall. Tizzy, unfortunately, a miscommunication there. Now Forza's got an opportunity here, going for the double touch. Oh my god, he almost got that. Already collect, and Rainy Knight, huge save there. 40's up, no boost though. And that one's gonna go high. Big clear there by Forza. And now this one's all but done, as maybe one more goal for the road. Rainy Nut playing it around in the corner, 40 going backwards. And that's going to be it for game 1. Flyers getting that huge first match there and potentially stopping all the momentum that Lumberjacks had coming into this.
And of course, I have the wrong winner screen. Good God, St. Cloud Flyers. I apologize, friends. There it is. I'm gonna throw it up on screen for everybody, but yeah, they're gonna take game 1 and a good start for them. I don't want to say they dominated this game, but kind of dominated this game.
They kind of dominated this game.
Yeah, they kind of dominated this game, though. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was. I was just thinking. I know I said you don't feel terrible if you're the Lumberjacks. The one thing I think you are worried about, though, is you didn't have a whole lot of offensive pressure there.
Yeah.
They put up 6 shots, which isn't, it's not 3, it's not 4. It's a decent showing, but you gave up 13 shots on the other side and only put up 4 saves. So you don't love that they had the run of the game. They were deciding the pace of the game. They were deciding a lot of how that one went. So the Lumberjacks need to find a way to keep the ball in their possession, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah, a lot of errors there as Lumberjacks, like I mentioned before, I was a bit worried that they'd come into this making errors because they just came off of a pretty easy win, as they made it sound like. And I think that's what they got caught up doing that first match.
Definitely. Game number 2 loading on in. Lumberjacks got to clean up the errors. A good save from Forza will stop an early chance for St. Cloud. That's going to go off the backboard, nearly on target. But of course, the Lumberjacks going to deal with it. And if you're the Lumberjacks, you got to start winning these challenges. St. Cloud going to punish you in the challenge game all series long if you're not careful. And that's, to me, what's been the difference in this series so far is every time St. Cloud takes a challenge, they're winning it. It's going off the backboard. It's going in pressure situations and spots for Bemidji to deal with. So if you're Bemidji, clean up your challenge game. You'll be just fine shooting the ball on offense.
Yeah, we've had a few miscommunications here, too, coming out of the Lumberjacks. A few double commits, things like that. It just seems like they need to clean up their game a little bit more. It's almost a get back to basics a bit, as 40 does make a good play in his own zone, but he doesn't have anyone else to follow up on it. It seems like they're kind of playing one man goes, everyone stays, one man goes, everyone stays, and they need to figure out a way to work as a little bit more of a unit here and get some plays out of their zone. It's been trapped here for a minute in their defensive end.
Yeah, I agree. Going back to the basics, it's a lot of not a lot of teamwork there. They just need to become a team now and get competitive and screw their heads, honestly. As Reina shot here, huge save by 40, and now finally they're out of the zone. He's got 9 boosts. Gonna get some sort of speed there. Can't make any follow there. Schlanker is now working his way out. Forza 50 out front. Tizzy, how do you say it again? Tizzy. Oh, Rainynet's got a shot there. Yes, Tizzy. A great 50 to set up that shot there. And a big pass there. Off target, though. And Rainynet here to collect. And, oh my gosh, did he hit that in?
I would have to watch the replay to see if that was an own goal or not. It could have come off the crossbar and then off of Forza.
Oh, it did. It did. Oh no!
He forces him into the situation, but you know you gotta hope you can get to the ball. But that may have been a product of low boost. I mean, we saw when they finally got out of their zone, he's sitting there in the offensive zone with 9 boost. When you're defending this much, it's just hard to break out and have some boost to do something with the ball.
Have some scores to report, ladies and gentlemen. In the lower round 1. The Minneapolis Miracles have defeated the Duluth Superiors in 3 games, and Duluth is quickly out of Rising Star in the entire tournament. Along with joining them is the Brainerd Victory, who lost to the Rhythm in a clean sweep, along with the Bloomington Ballers, who we saw on stream earlier tonight, and they fell in winners round 2 to the Rangers 3-1, and then of course lost in losers round 1 to the Minnetonka Barons in a sweep. So, of course, moving on to the next round is the Minnetonka Barons and the Rhythm. They'll play each other in lowers round 2, and then the Miracles playing the winner of the Atlas and the Inferno. That is our final match on stream, so we'll have that match afterwards. But if you're just joining us, this is the winner's semifinal, one of them from the bottom side of the bracket. The Lumberjacks and the Flyers fought hard to get here. This is Rising Star Major 1. And a lot of points on the line. This match is absolutely massive. This is for top 4.
Yeah, a lot of points on the line here. Oh, sorry, Fiddle.
Go for it. Go for it.
Rainynett gets a transition here. Now he's fighting with the Forza. He's going to leave that go for the demo. And now Tizzy's got some time. He's up. Forza on his back foot. He's going to go above him, and that's in. And a huge solo play by Tizzy to get his team up 1 more goal.
Yeah, Tizzy just turned at midfield, had a ball waiting for him perfectly, and that's just a really pretty play over top. Glued that thing to the front of his car as he just barely air rolled it underneath the crossbar there. That's a goal to give up if you're the Lumberjacks right now. I feel like it's going to be hard to see them putting up 3 goals in this match, I think.
I mean, this is scary spot for Bemidji. And I'm sure it was difficult for you to cast Tizzy scoring that on your team, but of course...
Yeah, I was ecstatic.
Yeah. For Bemidji, you need to respond in a big way. You have to find some way to break this St. Cloud hold that they've had in midfield. They just keep challenging and winning their challenges. Now off the backcourt, Rainey, can he drop it down? Forza the save. Follow-up from Tizzy's there. Demo comes in. Slocker's open net. It's a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, and it's just been an absolute onslaught. It's an entire matchup, and the Lumberjacks just missing. I don't want to say too much, but like, what is this team? Where they been? Like, this is not the team that just swept Atlas.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think you're asking, the question now is to ask, is this not the team that swept Atlas, or is it just that St. Cloud is that good right now with the team that they're able to put on the field with Schlonkers being back? They were looking like one of the best teams in the division before, and now that he's back, it's, you know, they've just kind of upgraded and leveled up that 1 more step. So if you're anyone else on the winner's bracket or, you know, across the tournament right now, you're feeling worried about the Flyers.
Yeah. Yes, you are. Especially with how good they're playing right now. 3-0 leading game 2. They're looking to close this out, go up 2-0, and possibly sweep Bemidji into the lowers. But Forza has something to say. Do you believe in miracles? 14 seconds.
I 100% deuce Dewey. 15 seconds, two more goals here for the Lumberjacks. It's gonna be a tight one, but at least they got this one just to get a little bit of proof of confidence here, even if they don't get any more goals here. As we head into the last bit here, is Tizzy's gonna get this out. Forza, unsure of what to do with it. 40's got it though. And 5 seconds forward, I think it's safe to say, probably not gonna get this one, as Flyers now about to sweep the team that just swept someone else.
And that was our first sweep of the tournament. And this could be our first sweep of our second sweep of the winners bracket. Flyers trying to make it happen, and they're up 2-0. And this has been a they're making quick work of Bemidji. But for Bemidji, you have got to figure something out right now. I don't know what it is. Anybody got an idea?
Oof. I think it's gotta be comms. I don't know. Like, even then, like, I say that, but like, I realize there's a lot of misses too. I don't know. To be honest, I mean, what do you think, Fiddle?
Yeah, to me it feels like they're just a shade slower. And I don't know if they're getting beat to, you know, a couple of the big boost pads. I mean, they gave up 14 shots that game. They're just, maybe they're sitting back on their own defensive line a little bit too much and not getting out in the face, stopping some of the like passing plays going on. But yeah, it feels like they're just getting beat to every ball. And whether that's the individual player reads or if that is, you know, more on the comm side, it's hard to know exactly without being in those headsets. But I think it just feels speed to me.
I have a score report. The Atlas, coming off of their 3-0 sweep loss to the Lumberjacks, have responded and have defeated the Inferno in Game 5, losers round 1. So if you are the Atlas, you are feeling good because you're the next match on stream against the Minneapolis Miracles. But if you're the Lumberjacks, you're not feeling so good right now. You have got to figure out a way out of this trap that St. Cloud has put you in, but Bemidji is starting off on a great foot in this game.
Yeah, this is totally bizarre. I mean, this team is maybe woken up here as they've almost had a couple of goals here, actually, on a couple of different opportunities. And just as I say that, they find themselves back in their defensive zone. We'll see for how long, though. Forza's got some time here. He's going to get it on his hood and flick one. Now Rainy Nuts got this. Or he's going to try and collect, though. He unfortunately misses there, and a tough 50, and Forza is trying to get a touch, and he does. TZ gets a miss, and now Schlonkers gets a shot there. Rainy Nuts up. Is anyone up on the Lumberjack side? There she is. Ori is. And now to the middle for a shot. Tizzy's got it on net. Big save there by Ori, and now this is what we're back and used to, am I right?
Yeah, we had a really big, I noticed a couple of bump plays that looked like St. Cloud going for there. They're just kind of disrupting everything that Bemidji wants to do, and so they're not letting players be in positions advantageous to Bemidji. And so I think you're just kind of seeing that physicality come out. I'm not sure that I've seen Bemidji be super physical, whereas I think St. Cloud is really being annoying out there, to be honest, with the physical play.
And an update from the top side of the bracket. We have a confirmation that the winner of this match will play the Hibbing Rangers, the #1 seed. So in the other winners semifinal that happened, the Rangers defeated the Senators 3-1 in 4 games. The Rangers winning 2 matches to get to the winners bracket final. That, of course, will be a best of 7. So these teams, neither of them out even if they lose this, but one of them gonna have to play the Boosty Boys, and the Boosty Boys are #1 right now for a reason.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Some connections issue here, maybe from Ori. He was clearly moving perfectly, and he just disappeared.
He
is back.
So from what I can understand, why does he spawn in and just make a save immediately? But
cheating?
I mean, even if
right.
Yeah, he just respawns so he could be in a better spot to make the original save. That's exactly what happened.
Get his 34 boost.
Back from the DC there from Ori, though, fortunately did not cost them a goal. Hard to say if St. Cloud took it easy or if they tried to take advantage and just weren't able to. Rainy Nut, though, playing it into the offensive end. 40 taking a 50 off the sidewall, unable to get a double. Ori trying to come to help him out, gets one touch, beats the man on the sidewall, doesn't have enough boost to do a whole lot with it. Can he get a flick? He can't. He does put a 50 up though. Forza letting Schlonkers play it. Schlonkers trying to air dribble out, goes underneath the challenge from 40. Forza takes a bit of an awkward touch, comes off the corner, going into the middle, or he misses. 40's there to get the clear out. Rainy Nut though, plenty of time to go back and leave for Schlonkers. Finally a little bit of control here. We're seeing not the ball just sitting in that Bemidji zone the entire game.
And of course, if you are the Flyers, you got to put this series away now and not give Bemidji any opportunity. Ori has a chance, maybe can put a shot on target, but St. Cloud standing in his way. 40 is there, tries to put it midfield. Forza gonna commit it as well. All three players, the chips are in for the Lumberjacks. They're trying to find that leading goal right now. Ori collecting, gets a flick over one. 40 going for the dunk. Forza's follow-up is there, and it's a 1-goal lead.
And what a huge setup by that Dominus flick by the Dorkar. And 40 gets a huge 50 there and a full team effort there. And, you know, part of me wonders if we subtracted the last two games, how this series would look. You know, like finally this is beginning to see a bit more even and like two teams on the field. As Tizzy's got a shot here, unfortunately doesn't work out for him, and now 40 is going to play this one. Got no boost though. Now Rainy Nut gets a great touch there, and Ori sends it off the sidewall, misses the 50, and now he's going to take that boost. Unfortunately, he doesn't. And now he's awkwardly in the corner there as Forza misses, and now Schlonkers has one here to beat, and so no boost, but 40, a great read there to get it out. As we get down to 10 seconds here, Ori's up, beats a defender, and 40, he's on the back line, doesn't know what to do, and it doesn't matter because Forza is there to collect it. Great communication, and to be honest, I didn't notice that was 40. I thought that was one of the Flyers.
Yeah, that's good comms. You probably called him off of it from trying to go off that backboard read, which if he'd hit it would have been absolutely beautiful, but you know, you'll take the 2-goal lead instead any day of the week. With 3 seconds left, 2 seconds, and we will see a fourth game in this series as the Lumberjacks are able to hold off the sweep, coming back, holding St. Cloud, I think, to only 3 shots that game, flipping that shot script entirely, putting up 11 of their own, and finally putting the Flyers on their back heels. The only question right now is, can they do it 2 in a row? What did they figure out, and can they recreate that?
And match point still for St. Cloud, who look to finish this series. We're going to get right into this fourth game and go as quickly as possible because we are a couple steps behind schedule, but that's okay. We're still going to bring you all the MNCS action you could possibly want. But, of course, game number 4 already loading on in. St. Cloud trying to finish the series off, but the Bemidji Lumberjacks trying to write their name in the history books and complete a reverse sweep.
Yeah, that'd be huge. That'd be the first one of any major, I guess, technically. But we'll see how the Flyers respond to this, as this is going to be big, because you can definitely get carried away on that 2-0 match leading into a sweep. And we'll see if that was just the case for the Flyers, is already they're beating the Lumberjacks here. And a huge double there, Schlonkers open net. And what a reply from going from no goals to grabbing one immediately in this match.
Yeah, that was a great play by Tizzy. Gets the ball off, throws the ball off the backboard, gets the demo then to clean up, and Schlonkers has just a wide open net to shoot on. That's looks a little bit more like game 1 and 2 that we saw out of them, but we have 4.5 minutes for Bemidji to flip the script back around. Let's get that game 3 action going again and see if we can tighten things up, get a goal to even up.
And 4:15 to go. Plenty of time for the Lumberjacks to answer back, but they don't have possession of the ball currently, and they don't have the chance. Tizzy looking to beat Forza to the ball. Rainy Nut into the corner. Can he drop it down? Anyone there? Schlonkers drops it down. Shots on. It's saved by Ori. A massive denial for Bemidji, who look to hold their line and keep this game a 1-goal game. You cannot let this game get out of hand now, or I mean, it could get scary. Bemidji an open net. Both players miss, and Forza ties the game.
Oh no! What a strange goal for this to tie up. Is what happened? It looks like the Blue Angels out there.
Everyone's going for Ori's touch, trying to get a 50 on it. Ori misses, which makes both on the double commit completely whiff, leaving a wide open net just for a nice, easy, calm tap and to tie us up at 1 with 3:40 left.
Yeah, the Lumberjacks feeling a lot better now after they got an answer there as they face defeat here in the series if they drop this match. And see a little bit of physicality actually out of the Lumberjacks. We spoke about this earlier as you see a demo attempt there earlier, and now Forza is going to play it. Unfortunately gets beat though, and now 40's in an awkward spot. Gets it off the sidewall. Now Ori's trying to clear it out. A touch to the middle, and Schlonker's a shot there. Forza was up, ready to get a touch, but unfortunately it goes wide. And now Rainy Nut shot on net there, goes right out to Tizzy. Tizzy almost capitalizes, but goes a little bit too high. And another demo play by Tizzy that almost pays off again as they find themselves tied up here with 3 minutes to go.
Here we go.
Yeah, can they withstand this pressure? I think that's the question. They're a little bit low on boost at the moment. I think the Lumberjacks are. And that's a really nice clear here by Forza to give his team a bit of time to get upfield. Plays it into the middle, but no one is there. It's a little too close to the defensive side as 40 takes a touch around Tizzy. Ori tries to come to clean up, but he gets demolished by Rainy Nut. No one there from St. Cloud to follow up on the demo to make an opportunity of it. Ooh. Instead, we get almost a double tap on the opposite side. 40 cuts his rotation, cutting off Ori just a little bit, but Ori waiting for a ball in the middle. Doesn't get it as Tizzy takes control. Couple touches on the wall, plays one to the back post that Forza is going to easily clear away. 40 with a missed touch though. Schlonker's trying to put it on, puts it back wall. Forza gets a clear. Ori tries to play a ball into the middle. No teammate there that's able to pressure. 2 minutes left. We have some really good back and forth play right now as we have a miss on the wall, but no boost to follow it up. Can he get a pass into the mid? He kind of does. Tizzy there though to clean up.
And if you are St. Cloud, you are being put on your back foot right now. It's back and forth action. Up and down the field we go. No one able to break this tie, this lock quite yet. Maybe Tizzy can do it, but Forza's last back and will make the touch. Looks for the infield pass. Ori downfield looking to try and put something away and force a game 5. St. Cloud with Tizzy. Hitting go by everybody, wins the 50, does get it over the top, but the ball gonna go off the bar. Rainy Nut gonna collect into the corner. Ori will challenge Tizzy to Rainy Nut. Back middle. Can anyone read it? Only Forza can. And the Lumberjacks stabilize for now. Infield more than likely coming in a bump possibly. And the chances right now for St. Cloud to look to finish this series out.
And Tizzy a shot here off the sidewall. And finally 40's gonna get it out for the Lumberjacks. And now Rainy Nut, it's his job to get it now back into that zone. Now Rainy Nut gets a good second touch there, and Forza beats him up high. Ori's up! He beats Tizzy! Is anyone there though? 40's there, and is it too high? It is! Oh no! And now Forza's got to make a tough turn here. He does. And now Rainy Nut's got a little bit of time as he plays it out. Forza not going to go after that. 40 gets it off the sidewall. Now Ori's on it here. Rainy Nut almost beats the both of them, and a great opportunity there, Tizzy, but 40 is there. Doesn't get the boost. Ori's now a beat there, but as we get to the 20-second range, Forza goes for it, and he does get a touch there. 40, no boost. Now Rainy Nut doesn't play that. Tizzy plays it up. Schlonkers is gonna, no, it's not gonna be on net. And Rainy Nut playing around the corner, gets a 50 there. Ori trying to play it slow, gets a 50, as they just need 3 seconds to survive. Tizzy, one move there, and it's up. Forza right under it. Schlonkers dunks it on his own side. Well, I suppose that was a good move. Sorry, didn't mean to be toxic there. And now, as we enter into overtime, Schlonkers playing it in his own corner, misses. Not going to go for that. 40's beat him. And now Schlonkers has time. Rainy Nut is up. Or he doesn't get it. Rainy Nut open net. The series on the line, and he doesn't get it to it in time. Tizzy gets to the center 40, awkward spot. And now Tizzy gets to the middle again. The Lumberjacks in scrambles right now. And as I lose my voice, Stewie, please take over for me.
30 seconds. Schlonkers looking midfield. And Tizzy gonna collect. Has the boost. Can he get over 40? He can. The ball gonna go at target. Forza's there again. And on the back line, Bemidji continue to hold. But of course, for St. Cloud, another close chance trying to put this series to bed, and it's not going to take much. They got to force out one chance. Schlonkers popping for Rainy Nut. The shot is going to be blocked again by 40. And defense from Bemidji holding strong.
Yeah, this has been a really intense minute here of overtime as both teams, you can tell neither one wants to be the one that makes a mistake. Both are sitting just a little farther back at times, waiting for the other team to make the play and then react rather than, you're not seeing a whole lot of pre-jumping coming out, things and stuff like that. As Forza goes up, both of them go up, Forza and 40. It looks like it might not cost them, but we're gonna see as Tizzy takes a touch off the ceiling, doesn't do anything with it, Ori misses, Forza just gonna boom long as Schlonkers beats him to the second touch, doesn't have the boost to follow it up. Ori tries to throw it on target, can't put a whole lot of force on it, but Forza taking it to the corner himself, dropping it down for 40. 40 putting a weak shot on as Rainy Nut clears the length of the field. Ori plays to his own corner. Rainy can't quite get the dribble as he was trying to turn that. Ball sitting in front of the net. Forza comes across, gets a good clear as 40 now loses the ball on the wall. Schlonkers takes one touch, looks like he doesn't have boost to follow. Ori plays it harmlessly into his own corner. We have Tizzy playing off the back wall, 40 getting a really good 50 to keep that from dropping into the mid, but he doesn't have a lot of boost to play with, but he doesn't need it for that first 50. Ori also not a whole lot of boost. It's looking like the Lumberjacks are low on boost across the board right now and need to get a clear, which does come out. Forza beats Rainy Nut to the ball, doesn't get a double to drop it into the mid. Rainy now trying to get a touch. Tizzy awkward with Schlonkers in his own. We have some double committing coming out. Can Forza get a drop to the mid? He can't. That's really good defense coming back by Rainy Nut. This, no one has had the clear chance yet here in overtime. We could have it right now. Forza puts it wide. Forza with the sitter to put on the top corner, but unfortunately sticks it wide. This is continuing here in overtime.
What's that? Get 5! They forced it! Finally!
Oh. Sorry, Stu, I think we're cutting each other off here, but finally we get an answer, and to game 5 we go. Is the Lumberjacks. I was nervous, to be honest, because they were trapped in their zone for I think a minute and 30 there, and they managed to work it out. I was like, oh no, this is back to game 1 and 2, but they got it back around, and all they needed was just a couple chances and about 30 seconds. They're able to put this one into game 5.
Yeah, Rainy Nut is not going to be happy with missing that ball off his back wall. It's just a misread as it's a little awkward coming off of the corner there. I know I always hate those reads myself. And that one just squeaks past him to give Ori the game-winning goal in overtime about 2.5, 3 minutes into overtime as we head to a game 5 reverse sweep. It is on the table if the Lumberjacks want to go ahead and take it.
Yeah, like I said, after the Lumberjacks' first win, started to look like a series in those first 2 matches. That's a tough delay to have as a team to start clicking. And now they're in the Game 5 territory. They fought their way back into this. And with the major on the line here, well, top 4 is what I mean. This 40 gets it clear here, but winner of this gets to play Hibbing. And do they secure top 4? Is that what they secure? Top 4
you secure
points?
winners finals, and if you lose winners finals, you go to losers finals.
Okay.
So yes, it's essentially top 4. Forza, I believe the overlay has crashed on me. Of course it has. Why the heck? Why the heck?
All good. Take your time, Stewie.
Oh my
Forza,
goodness.
a beautiful shot there. And putting this one early, as we saw last match, actually, they ended up getting scored on about this early. The Lumberjacks did. And now they're finding themselves back up, and that's gotta be a little worrying for Flyers, especially from a mental standpoint. A big miss there. It's maybe seeing some of the nerves come in as the Flyers don't want to get reverse swept. And Forza's got another shot here. He misses though. He could have had his second goal there in 19 seconds. Now 40's on the back foot. Tough shot there by Rainy Nut. Now Ori here to collect. Tough setup there. And now it's in the middle for 40. 40, a good clear. Now Forza's awkwardly finding his way around the ball. Ori gets it to 40. 40 is 50 though by Tizzy. And out in the front, but Ori's there to collect. Now a big beat there by Schlonkers to get it up. Ori beating him. If I think it's off, is a good relinquish there to let Schlonkers get onto it. Now 40 plays it up. Tizzy's really quick though as he gets up there to get that 50. And now almost a double commit there by the other side. Shoot. That blanked on me. And now Tizzy collecting here in the corner as Fiddle. What are you thinking here as you're seeing this difference in pressure?
Yeah, honestly, the one thing I've been thinking right now is it feels like St. Cloud is frustrated as Tizzy takes almost a really nice opportunity. I'll get back to that in a second, but it looks like St. Cloud is going to give up a second goal as Bemidji just has a wide open net, which leads directly into what I was about to say, that they're reaching right now. St. Cloud feels like they're feeling the pressure of having lost 2 in a row. They're getting out of position. It looks like guys are really trying to make solo plays here where they don't exist. They're really stretching and overextending for plays. And right there is the perfect encapsulation of that, as you give up an open net goal because everyone right now seems to kind of be trying to do it on their own rather than those team plays that were getting it done in the first couple games.
Yeah, and we have not seen the Flyers give up an open goal like that, let alone 2. As, yeah, I think they are feeling the pressure, and the Lumberjacks really in their element now as they're feeling it. And what a turn of events, as Stewie called this, potentially not the series of the night, but he said it was going to be one of the best matches of tonight. And I mean, what an amazing performance we have here by both sides. Is now Lumberjacks finding their way in the offensive zone. Now 40 trying to get back to the boost. He does beat back to the boost, but now he's got to get an awkward 50. Schlockers capitalizes. Oh, what an awkward communication play by the Lumberjacks as they run into each other, in a nice freebie there for them to get 1 goal range.
Yeah, Forza and 40 there, just a miscommunication. He's trying to carry it across, and his teammate was hoping to come to get the clear for him to help him out, and just a bit of a miscommunication that gives up the goal. Almost getting a quick tie off of the kickoff, but instead we stay at 2-1. I think thinking back to games 1 and 2, like, you had the beautiful double tap by Rainy Nut, and you have some great solo plays. It feels like that solo game is really where they live, St. Cloud, and right now it's not working. Whatever Bemidji was doing wrong as far as team cohesion, it seems like they've cleaned it up.
Yeah, absolutely. But the Flyers did it. Oh, just to say that, never mind. The Lumberjacks find their way to get another one. But I was going to say the Flyers maybe getting their confidence back after getting that goal, but Ori going to deny that opinion as he puts the Lumberjacks up 1 more goal, expanding that lead. And yeah, I mean, I'm just shocked. Champions Field, absolute turn of events, and what a storyline that we have. Is Rainy Nut, free shot here. Goes up really high though, unable to get a second. And 40 almost gets a shot at goal there, and a bad touch by Schlonkers, almost capitalized by 40. Forza gets the boost. Actually, sorry, he did not get the boost, but he does beat the Flyers. As Tizzy's got a shot here. Can he get a second? He can, but it's too high, and Schlonkers there to collect, and what a play by Tizzy.
Tizzy there, really nice double. Trying to put that on target, but ultimately doesn't matter as Schlonkers is coming in on that back post, able to get the touch, put it on net, and this is going to be if this has been a tight series up till now, I think this last minute and 15 is going to be some of the best Rocket League we maybe have seen tonight on stream.
And I will return, of course. I mean, this cannot get any closer. I mean, Tizzy, 40! The save of his life! With 50 seconds! Somehow, Bemidji does not concede the tying goal. 40 looking for the 2-goal lead back. 43 seconds for St. Cloud to find a miracle. And for Bemidji, you have to somehow rotate this to, I mean, this somehow has to happen. I don't know how, but I mean, you've got 30 seconds to do this or St. Cloud.
Yeah, 22 seconds now as they are found in their defensive half. Then the Flyers capitalize. They've been so good in the offensive pressure. And unfortunately, 40 is able to get it out. And Forza's there. Can he end the series? He can. It's 2 goals. Oh my God, what a turn of events. 8 seconds left for the Flyers. That's heartbreaking. Up from 2 games and now facing reverse sweep.
It is setting in if you're the Flyers right now. 2 goals, 8 seconds. Stu said it earlier, do you believe in miracles? And I don't think with that dunk that we are going to see it. As 40 goes ahead and drops it into the middle, the ball is going to touch down here in just a moment as the series ends. We have an absolutely insane reverse sweep coming out of the Lumberjacks, who were completely outclassed in every single phase of the game in games 1 and 2.
Unbelievable.
And somehow turn that around, come back for a 5-game reverse sweep. Ben, what are you feeling right now?
Unbelievable.
Dude.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say either, Ben. I don't know.
Dude. This has made my night. Are you kidding me? I'm so biased right now, but I am very happy that the Lumberjacks were able to get this one. Oh my gosh, I was so nervous for these guys. Like I said before this match, I was worried that they'd come in and they'd be feeling good after that sweep and they'd make mistakes, and that's exactly what they did. And frankly, I was gonna tell them that, but I didn't. And I guess lesson learned for me as a GM. But yes, as GM of Bemidji, I am absolutely ecstatic right now.
And yeah.
Go ahead, Stu.
Wow. What a series. 5 games of absolutely insane Rocket League. We've got one last matchup coming your way after a short 5-minute intermission. I'm going to say 5 minutes, but it's probably going to be 2 or 3, guys. So stick around. It's the Minneapolis Miracles taking on the Mankato Atlas in our losers round 2. That is our final matchup of the evening. And you're not going to want to miss this. And you're not going to want to miss this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back after a very, very short break. Of course, a ridiculous reverse sweep from Bemidji in that last series. Ben, of course, unfortunately had to leave us, so you're stuck with us too for the rest of the night. Just one more match to go, though. It is losers round 2, which is the Miracles versus the Atlas. Loser of this match is out of the tournament. So you're fighting for your life here, Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, absolutely. We have two teams here. They've both been playing a lot of Rocket League tonight. We have Minneapolis coming off of a sweep, but before that they've had 2 5-game series before that, and this is just like you said, there's a ton of pressure on this game. You got to win or you're done. And it's as simple as that. So I think we could have a really tight series coming into this one. Maybe we'll see a little bit of what we saw last series with Minneapolis coming off a sweep, Mankato winning a series in 5. So maybe they're feeling a little bit fresher. So we'll see. I'm curious if that plays into this one at all.
Game number 1, we're going to load it up on, we're going to load it really quickly. Of course, starting lineups for each team, they're all here. So, yeah. Game number 1 loading on in, losers round 2. And I forgot to update that, so I will go ahead and change that. But, of course, for the Atlas, Nate, it's Nate, Derek, and Doty, Garrett, Rage, and Bladat for the Miracles. And I'm looking at the Miracles to win this series. That is my prediction in 4 games. I feel like the Miracles have something to prove here. Despite being knocked down to the losers bracket, you fell to a St. Cloud Flyers team in 5 games. You more than likely feel pretty good in this tournament.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I don't know that the Miracle will be able to pull off quite the sweep. So I think probably a 4-game. I think I agree with. But it's I'd say it's too early to tell. Nate has played pretty well a couple of series that I've cast for him this season, so I'm curious if this team can kind of build around some really good solo play on the Mankato side as Derek tries to throw it on target, hoping to get that goal scoring early started up, but nothing yet here in the first minute as both teams really seem to be feeling each other out. Derek with the ball off the back wall, but Garrett gets a good clear, only so far as Doty though, who just throws possession right back. Rage gets a touch off his back wall. He doesn't like it very much though. Doty does get beat to the ball. Nate throws it into the side wall, but Bladat's going to get an opportunity. No boost to his name as Doty tries to get a good 50, but Garrett's going to come out with it as Nate has an opportunity off the side wall. Gets called off by Derek. Derek going for the double. Rage though gets an easy clear up towards that kind of left sideline. A demo springs Garrett. Can Garrett win the race? He doesn't have the boost, but he's able to get put a bounce straight into the middle for Bladat to finish. 1-0, 3:23 left.
And a huge challenge. Garrett gets the ball midfield for Bladat and a good chase down play. And it's good that you're starting off early for Minneapolis. You want to start off early in this series. You want to get going right away. You don't want to give Mankato the opportunity to wake up. You proverbially, you want to shut them down early. Doty doesn't care. Tie game.
Yeah. It's almost like they hear you talking there. That was, I think, classic caster curse as Derek plays just a ball off the sidewall. Rage is just not fast enough off his line. Bladat also not able to get up. Doty with a really clean finish into that top right corner. And I think that was probably about 8 seconds there is what we lost to a 1-0 game, and we're back at it as a tied game. Bladat hoping to follow, but doesn't, decides to leave it for Rage. Looking like Mankato's trying to get out of their zone. Bladat not wanting to let that be too easy, but throws the ball into the middle of the field, tries to follow for a second touch. Rage puts it into the corner, gets a good boost steal there out of Mankato, so we may have a little bit of a slow play from Minneapolis coming out. Garrett tries to play down for Rage, able to do so, but instead we had a shot on target coming out. Nate putting it off the sidewall, double commit. Looks like it might not hurt them all too much as both players from Minneapolis able to get back down to the ground. Both teams have some decent opportunities as the ball goes off the crossbar. Almost an own save from the Miracles, and here we are at 2-1.
Huge play. Rage goes faking, and Bladat just finishes it. And a report from the bottom side, the other losers round 2 match. The Rochester Rhythm defeating the Minnetonka Barons in a full sweep 3-0. So we've had sweeps for days on the bottom side of the bracket. The entire bottom side of the lowers bracket has been sweeps, and only one game 5 in the lower bracket so far. Only one game that has gone to a 4th game. So in this series, we're looking for a 4th game pretty much, Fiddlesticks, but other than that, this is the final match of the evening. It's the final match for the first week. Every single other match has been completed. We'll have the brackets for you at the end of this series, but of course, we're still early on in this series, still looking to find our identity quick.
Yeah, and it's a little early to talk about maybe the format too much, but I think it's been a lot of fun watching as Blaudat gets a goal to put up 3-1. Missed exactly what happened there as Garrett took a nice 50 and Blaudat just kind of, I thought that's what it was, just kind of a bang that came off the ceiling. No one was able to read it, and that's an easy easy finish, I suppose you can say, for Blaudat to take that 2-goal lead.
And yeah, pretty easy finish, I would say. I agree, definitely. But of course, I'm happy for my Miracles boys who are up in this match 3-1 so far. 4 goals have been scored, and I mean we're deep into this first game so far, and it's been back and forth. Both teams with plenty of chances, but I'm still waiting for that breakout play from one team to really take command of this series in the losers bracket. We usually see in most losers bracket games that one team just pretty much dominates and takes control.
Yeah, we're only seeing 4 shots for each team right now, so it's not, neither team is the, you know, clear possessor of the ball or you know, driving the pace of play. So it's no saves at the same time though. So I think if you're both of these teams, you hopefully get some saves going, get some defensive action happening as Garrett goes for the ball left by Rage. Rage is just going to go ahead and leave and get some boost. Nate there trying to play off the ceiling, unable to do so. Garrett beats him to it, but Derek plays off into the corner. Blaudat misses the ball. Rage left alone does decide to challenge as that third man. Blaudat no boost to go up for it. Doty hoping to get a double off the wall, but no boost to follow himself. It seems like no one on the field right now has boost, and you would think someone from one of these teams would have a 100 pad.
Yeah, it's somewhere on the field. 30 seconds on the clock for the Atlas to find one. They can't get by Rage, who's continued to win challenge after challenge. We'll see how he does in game 2, but Garrett off the backboard looking for Blaudat, and Blaudat has all 4. Perfect.
Yeah, he's a perfect 4 for 4. Yeah, that's Blaudat says, you know what, let's get game 1 done. Let's go on. Let's start game 2. He is trying to drive the team into that sweep that you're hoping to see, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, if you are the Atlas, you need to figure out something right now, because you do not want this series to get out of hand, because it could be your downfall. No time on the clock. This game is all but over until it hits the ground. It's still up. The bouncing continues, and finally it hits the floor. Minneapolis will take game number 1, and fitting because of how they played that first game. It was pretty clean, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a weird game. I mean, you see a 4-1 score line, but you also see 5 shots to 4 shots. So it also felt like a pretty back and forth game. The Atlas didn't seem to do anything too terribly threatening, I think, is one of the main things. And they made a couple of the goals for the Miracles, at least 2 of them that I can think of, were really just some big mistakes by the Atlas. So I think the Atlas, you're going to want to clean all that up. If you clean all that up, I think you have an opportunity, because they weren't just taking the game to you. You weren't your defensive end for minutes on end like we saw kind of last match. But it's hard to say how you know, if they're going to be able to clean those up. Maybe that's all they have today. So we will see as we step into game 2, though, if the Miracle can keep it up or if the Atlas can flip this script.
And we're already loading into game number 2, and they're going as quick as possible, which I absolutely love. Of course, yeah, this is, thank God. But of course, you know, I mean, yeah, it's pretty quick, definitely. But of course, Garrett already scoring the first goal in this series, or in this game, in game number 2, excuse me, not in this series. They're definitely well into this game number 1. What? I am lost. I'm sorry. I'm completely lost.
That is all right. Here in game number 2, we have 17 seconds gone. A 1-0 lead here for the Miracle as Garrett just found himself with an open net. Didn't have to do a whole lot too fancy, just jumping off the sidewall, and he had a perfect wide open shot at that ball. Nate trying to get a play into the middle, gets dunked by Garrett instead. Doty trying to play off his own sidewall, but instead, Rage plays it. It comes off of the back wall, left from Blodot for Garrett. Garrett does not beat Nate as Nate gets a pass into the middle, but instead the pass is accepted by a Miracles player who throws it into the Mankato side. The Atlas are kind of just knocking the ball around a little bit right now. They're trying to get some possession, some slow plays, but they're just getting pressured. There's not fake challenges coming out of the Miracle. It seems like all of their challenges they're really pressing on, and they're trying to put that pressure deep into the zone. To not allow them out, as we almost have a second goal. Again, almost have a second goal. No one's able to finish as Rage is playing this a little slow so that he doesn't get beat, as he was the last man back there. Beats Derek, throws one on net, does get a save out from Doty. Blada tries to put one on net, doesn't, net passes out to Garrett. Garrett and Doty with a beautiful, or Garrett and Blada, excuse me, with some really good communication there to just know where your teammate is and finish for a 2-0 lead.
That's such a good pass. That is such a clean pass from Blodat to Garrett. And Garrett able to slot it bottom middle. And the Miracle's up 2-0 quick in this game, looking to stamp their spot against the Senators in the losers bracket quarterfinal round 3. But for now, they still got to deal with Mankato, who have plenty of time to get back into this. I mean, 3 minutes is lots of time to score 2 goals, but they're on their back foot again, and like we talked about, Minneapolis just setting up this, I don't know, the snake grip hold that the Atlas are struggling to get out of.
Yeah, Atlas right now yet to record a shot in this game, which not super promising 2 minutes in. It's just showing, I think, well, last game it didn't feel like there was one team holding on to possession. As we have another time of a pass into the middle coming out from Rage for Garrett. It's just they're just too synced up right now.
They can hear what each other are thinking. I mean, come on. Like, this is just insane. Like, hats off to Minneapolis, who have really come out in this series and have, I mean, pretty much taking the reins. Definitely. Massive save by Rage on the goal line. Bloodat to make the other one. And Minneapolis's line is just being held, and Mankato cannot break through. Finally, they get it infield, and there is Derek to follow it up. The awkward play works out, and Mankato finally scores their first of game 2.
Yeah, that all started, there was a side flip coming out. I'm not sure who it was on the Miracles that side flipped and kind of left an open net, and they were scrambling. Almost looked like they were going to get out of the scramble, but one last attempt from Mankato threw it in net for a 3-1 scoreline. Jumping back in now with half this game 2 gone. Mankato finding themselves down 2 and needing to really get, I feel like they need to get another one quick, because that's always a possibility on the other side. As Rage just lives up to his name and absolutely powers through this shot, just bodying Derek out of the way, taking it for the 4-1 lead.
You just can't give him that. I mean, that's too easy. 4-1 Miracles. Again, looking to work their way into losers round 2, or round 3, excuse me, and move on to week 2. Loser of this match is done. Their major is over. And winner of this match moves on to that week 2 set. Only 6 teams still alive. 5 have been sent home so far. And we're looking for number 6. The demo comes in. Garrett makes it 5.
Yeah, this is just an onslaught right now. I don't think there's a whole lot else that you can say about it. This is just a Minneapolis team that is feeling confident. They feel like the better team, and when you have that kind of confidence, there's just not a lot that you can do to slow it down.
Not much you can do. Ball, bar down and out. Derek has it though, trying to keep Mankato's hopes alive. Down by 3, they still score, and unfortunate bounce, a good fortunate bounce for Derek. It doesn't even matter at this point. A minute 54, they're still in this game, but they gotta find 3 quick ones, and Minneapolis has just had an answer every single time.
Yeah, they have. It's, you know, I don't know that I'd be surprised if Mankato picked up another goal or two here even, but I don't see them keeping the Miracle off the scoreboard for the next minute and 45. As we see Rage trying to drop one down, almost does. Blodot comes flying through. Garrett's dropping fast to get back on defense. Doty gets an additional touch there, but doesn't really do a whole lot for him except for waste his boost tank. Nate loses out to Blodot. Blodot tries for another touch. He's a little too high, doesn't have the boost to get down for it. Derek now trying to play it out of his own zone, gets a double touch off the ceiling, but only goes so far as Derek. Doty getting a touch, trying to make something of it, but he has to avoid a demo. Plays it into the middle for Nate. Nate throws it off the sidewall, maybe to himself. Instead, everyone from the Miracles just stopped. Derek tries to get a dunk goal, but Rage is able to be there for the clear. Nate just throwing it into the 18, trying to make something happen. No one from his team. Everyone was dropping back to get some boost. That's minute left, 3-goal lead. This was starting to look insurmountable for Mankato.
Jump comes in, Rage makes it 6. And Minneapolis, a statement game in number 2. But Fiddlesticks, if there's anything that we've seen tonight, this series is far from over, even if they win game 2. We saw what happened in the last series. St. Cloud had all the momentum, and Bemidji fought their way back and won the entire thing. So if you're Mankato, you gotta try and find some form of offense and stability in game 3. Otherwise, in game number 2, you got outclassed, and game 3 has to look a little bit different. Especially on the defensive side of the ball, you can't be giving up 6 goals a game.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know what, I don't know that I could see them reverse sweeping, but you know what, after game 2, I was close to putting money down that we weren't going to see a reverse sweep in that one from the last series either. So teams can change a ton in, you know, between
That's 7,
games.
isn't it?
They team saved their own 7th goal a little bit there, as I don't think they're too worried about this scoreline. But I do have to say, this feels like an instance where Minneapolis just kind of is outclassing Mankato a little bit, and I feel like I have to see miracles in game 3 with the way that this has been going.
Wow. 2-0 lead for Minneapolis, who look to close this series out very, very quickly. We're more than likely going to jump into game 3 as quick as we possibly can. But of course, if you're Mankato, you have to figure out some way of getting back into this series right now, because it got out of hand in that second game. It really did. I mean, 6 goals, 4 from Garrett, 4 in the first game from Blodot. Blodot didn't even have to score, and they still won.
Yeah, 12 shots coming out of the Miracles. Atlas were just on their back heel the whole time. You've got to find some way to disrupt that offensive pressure, whether it's you know, whether there's a few bumps, some boost steals. It's hard to know exactly what it is, but I think honestly both of the Atlas goals really more came off of mistakes from the Miracle than it did from Atlas driving the play. So yeah, I'd say if you're the Atlas, you're a little worried, and you're probably sitting there going, "What do we do? What are our options going into this third game?"
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if I have an answer for that, but Minneapolis surely has an answer. I mean, for them, they've scored plenty of goals in this series. Game number 3 inbound. Minneapolis looking for the sweep to end off the night and looking to finish off Mankato and throw them out of the tournament. Minneapolis looking to continue on with their run and hopefully meet the St. Paul Senators on that lower side of the bracket. But for now, I mean, you can't count Mankato out, but their challenge game has just not been there today.
No, it absolutely hasn't. They, it's hard to say, you know, if this is going to be a performance they're necessarily like disappointed in. You know, I have not followed Mankato a ton. I'm not sure if you know what their expectations were coming into this game, but it doesn't look like they are at the same level right now as Minneapolis, as we almost have a goal coming out early in this game 3, another one off the crossbar, and finally we get a save from Derek that clears a bit. Doty leaves the ball for Garrett. Garrett throws it on target.
Oh no!
Nate, unfortunately, with the own goal, as he goes up to try to read and is just unable to get out of the way as it's coming off the post.
That's gut-wrenching for Nate to give up that own goal. 1-0 lead for Minneapolis, who have had all of the momentum and have scored the first goal in game 3. We'll see if Mankato can respond here, but Garrett into the side wall. Nate gonna collect. Trying to answer back from the own goal off the backboard. Rage goes up early, goes missing. Derek reads it and does score and tie the game.
Once again, we see another misread off that back wall from Rage that leads to a goal for Mankato. It's a really nice play just to, you know, make him awkward, force him to make a decision. You either have to go up early or wait for the shot. He tried to go up early, missed, and it's a good finish coming out of Mankato, tying it up at 1. Doty trying to get a 2-1 lead, unable to do so as Garrett gets a good save there on his back line. Blodot following the play, gets a bit of an awkward touch for his teammate, tries to pass back but is unable to. Garrett gets beat up to it. Blodot waiting on the ground, gets bumped out of the way. He's left a teammate back there alone, but Rage is able to clean up pretty easily, though he does get dunked by Nate coming in. Garrett off the sidewall, trying to play for a second touch, does, but Doty gets to it first. Blodot, can he play into the middle? Not very well as Derek gets a touch off of that back wall. Garrett, though, rotating back well to get a good clear. This has been a bit more of an even minute or so here that we've seen than we've seen this entire series so far.
Good challenge win from Doty will put pressure on Blodot at his last back. Derek, that's on target. Garrett made the save. Garrett gonna collect again, goes midfield, does get the dunk on Nate, and collects that midfield boost. So boost advantage to Minneapolis for now. Doty looking for an air dribble over the top, does not get the infield pass, an unfortunate bounce. Derek off the backboard looking for an infield pass. Nate's there, can he follow it up? It's off target. Blah with the save anyways. And Mankato with some pressure here, putting Minneapolis on their back foot, but Minneapolis still working their way out of their end. They're still tied in this game. You know, you figure they got all the momentum despite being on defense for right now. Doty off the backboard looking for an open shot. Can't quite find it. Infield, that's off the post. That's not in. And Rage trying to get to his Doty. Garrett makes the save. Nothing in the tank for Minneapolis, who try and hang on.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely nothing in the tank as we switch between players. 12 boost, 12 boost. They're just trying to survive on pads right now, and it looks like they maybe have, as Garrett here might have an opportunity to clear out. Only goes as far as Nate. Can Doty turn and win? He can't. He drops instead, which ends up being a smart play as Rage tried to just throw one on target.
Oh, the follow.
Instead, Garrett with a beautiful follow, unable to get up fast enough on that back line, and that leads to a 2-1 lead for Minneapolis.
That Garrett, Fiddlesticks Garrett just continues what he did in game 2. Game 3, giving Minneapolis the 2-1 lead with 1:53 to go. And that's a big goal, because you don't let Mankato get that leading goal here in game 3. You're trying to keep it up and finish them off, but for now, Mankato on their last breath. You know, I thought that infield play from on the defensive end of the ball by Garrett was huge. Nate gonna tie the game, slams it home, the demo comes in.
Yeah, Doty with a really good 50 there, and Derek just beats Rage to that ball, or at least it gets there just fast enough to take the 50 off of the ceiling that drops down perfectly for Nate to finish. But I think you were saying earlier about the 2-1 lead, but even at 2-2, I think you have to think Mankato's really the ones that have to be feeling the pressure. And I think the question is, does the pressure make them play better, or are we going to see an overextension or a mistake come out that leads to a goal against? As you know, they're the ones fighting for their lives right now. And if you're Minneapolis, you know you want to win it in 3, but if you don't, you've got opportunities. So I think this last minute, we're going to see definitely some hands potentially get sweaty on the Mankato side of things.
There was a double commit. They weren't punished for it, though. Nate was last back, made a huge play. Infield, Doty gets the dunk. 1 minute to go. And for Minneapolis, you got to try and finish this series off. Demo infield on Blodot. Pass to Nate. Shots on target, but it's weak, and Rage makes the save. Blodot spawns in and gets the boost and the ball. Can he get by Derek? He can. Can he get by Nate? He goes all the way.
Oh my, just a beautiful play by Blodot to get the first touch. Just fakes just enough to force the defender to hold on the challenge, and then just beats whoever that was on the back line. You've got to be a touch faster if you're on the back line reading that play, as you're the last line of defense. You've got to make the challenge at the right time. Unable to do so, that takes us to a 3-2 lead for Minneapolis as Rage tries to get out of his own zone. Can't. Blodot helps him out after a 50 comes in. Nate misses the touch off of the corner. Doty, though, is able to clear out of danger and out of harm's way, at least for the time being. does get the demo on Rage. Can he beat both of the Minneapolis players coming back? He cannot. We sit with 23 seconds left. Garrett on his own, taking it into a sidewall instead of taking the 50 with Derek. But we have Nate coming in out of seemingly nowhere, at least per the director cam, finishing to take us 3-3.
A big pinch. Nate with the shot, and Rage just didn't read it. 16 seconds. Miracles. Mankato locked at 3 games, at 3 goals apiece. Tied, of course, in this game, but not tied in the other 2. Garrett, can he beat Nate to the ball? He can, but 10 seconds on the clock. Doty in his end will get dunked, but Garrett was there on purposefully, and this game might go to overtime. Ball still up. Doty will kill it. Overtime, and oh boy. Mankato, can you stay alive? Minneapolis, can you put your foot down and end this series?
Yeah, it's amazing every time I see one. I cast one of these series and it goes to the 3rd game and you have a chance for a sweep. How hard it is to complete a sweep as teams just do everything in their power to at least get that one, start some momentum. And we'll see what ends up happening here as we jump into overtime. 20 seconds in, Rage gets a demo. Ball goes just above the net there as Nate goes for a demo himself. Does give up possession of the ball going for the demo, however. Doty trying to get a touch off the ceiling. He does. 3 players are back for Minneapolis, though, so there's not a whole lot of danger in that play. Rage takes 50 into the middle. Blodot throws the ball off of the crossbar. Trying to get a demo coming through was Rage. Everyone jumped over his challenges, however. Garrett takes a bit of a bad touch. He's going to need some help as Blodot does come in to give that. Rage takes a touch into the middle. Blodot really low on boost, but trying to help his team out. Garrett gets 1 touch, doesn't have enough boost to follow. Rage whiffs, going for the touch as well, as the ball right now is stuck in the Mankato half, with it looks like Mankato being a little low on boost. They gotta hope that they can kind of hunker down here and get some good defensive plays. Derek getting his corner boost, and we get a nice boom on to the other side of the field. This is, there's not really been a whole lot in this overtime just yet. Well, what are you seeing so far, Stewie?
That was a close challenge. Doty, not a great touch. Nate gets demoed. Rage has been absolutely huge for Minneapolis this series on challenges. He's been winning a lot of the challenges he's been taking. Poor touch, though. Ball gonna go off the backboard. Can Garrett be there? He can. Doty trying to find 2. He does, but Blodot was waiting. And 2 minutes into overtime, it's been all Minneapolis who have held the line so far, but Mankato have been putting on a ton of pressure. Not quite able to break through yet. Derek will commit his 3rd man. Rage, can he find the shot? He can't. Nate is back, but Blodot will keep it in field for Minneapolis, who look to put their foot down and try and finish this out. Derek will get the touch. It's not a good one, though. Nate has to go. Has to waste the boost. Blodot's there. We'll put it to Garrett. Can Garrett find the angle? He can, and the series is done!
What a finish. Just a beautiful pass coming out of Blodot. Garrett just getting up for the perfect touch to end the series. Take it 3-0. What an absolutely stunning finish to the last series of the night. And that is 3-0 to the Miracles as they go on. Unfortunately, Mankato, they go home.
It's an unfortunate showing, definitely, Fiddlesticks. And this, well, obviously was our final series of the evening, and the bracket has been completed. I've got literally one thing to move, and it's this match. And of course, Minneapolis taking it in a 3-0 sweep, so they'll play the St. Paul Senators. And I mean, yeah, we've gone through so many matches. Final stats on your screen. Garrett with 3 out of the 4, and Garrett, to me, MVP of that series. Man, what a showing in game 2 and 3. A very, very, I mean, I don't want to say dominant performance, Fiddlesticks, but he really had Mankato's number.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you see a 3-0 sweep, you're at somewhere along the line, that's a dominant performance, right? I think Minneapolis as a whole just played really good Team Rocket League. And yeah, I think they definitely outclassed Mankato at the end of the day.
They look good going into this next week, Fiddlesticks. Of course, we've still got one more week of this. You know, we still haven't finished out the bracket. And, you know, taking a look at the bracket, this is how it played out. And obviously the Rangers and the Lumberjacks stand after the Lumberjacks with an incredible reverse sweep. They punched their ticket to the winners finals against the Rangers, who are the number 1 seed, and the Lumberjacks will have to pull something out to win that match. But this is how the bracket looks, and we'll obviously play the last sets of matches when they come around next week. But here's how the lower bracket is looking, and of course, Superior's Inferno, Victory, and Mahler's unfortunately out. The Barons out as well, along with the Atlas, and of course I forget to change the Barons logo on the bottom side. I apologize, but Flyers and Rhythm still in it. Senators and Miracles still in it. Winners of those matches will play in that losers semifinal. Then the losers final, of course, the winner of the losers semifinal will play the loser of the winners bracket final. So one of these two teams, which I would not want to go up against Fiddlesticks, that's for sure. But this has been a incredible day of Rocket League so far. Wrong screen, of course. Gosh, I'm getting towards the end of the day. You know, I'm about all out of brain power right now. But yeah,
I think we can forgive you for that one.
Yeah, any final thoughts?
I think the only thing for me is I think if you're the Lumberjacks next series, you have got to come out faster as you're coming up against the Rangers, and that's just you need to come out hard and you need to come out fast. But other than that, I think this has been a ton of fun. It's a great format. I think it's awesome to see us kind of develop into this major system, and I can't wait to see what happens next week.
Yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you, of course, tomorrow for Challengers Major 1 starting bracket. And yeah, it's from all of us at MNCS. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.